Okay. Yes. All right. 3, 2, 1. GoNintendo Podcast Webisoder 886, the Drakloak Podcast. MomBrain, will you tell us about Drakloak, please?
Jackalope?
No, you'll never catch him.
Fast as fast can be.
That's right.
That's true.
That's true.
Oh, sorry, I'm so tired. This Pokemon flies around at over 120 miles per hour.
Wow.
Whoa.
It's true. Fast as fast can be.
It's really impressive.
If a Drakloak is defeated in a battle, its Dreepy will wander off without a second thought. I just needed to make sure.
Did Rick and Morty write this?
What?
I mean, it sounds like...
Maybe we should be saying not Drakloak, but Drakloak. As in like Dracula's cloak. I'm sure that's where it's coming from.
I just wondered how
Drakloak.
Plumbuses were made.
But Dreepy?
Huh?
Dreepy? It's capital.
It's
so
creepy. Creepy Dreepy. Dracula. Creepy Dracula. It all makes perfect sense.
Dracula.
Okay.
Rack around.
It's 4 feet tall. They weigh 24 pounds, male and female, and the category is caretaker of a graveyard, I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
Abilities include clear body.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had Taco Bell yesterday. I got a clear body.
Oh.
Prevents other Pokemon's moves or abilities from lowering the Pokemon's stats. And Infiltrator. The Pokemon's moves are unaffected by the target's barriers, substitutes, and the like, of course.
Thanks, MomBrain. I
Very
appreciate
nice.
it. MomBrain's here.
I am.
How are you?
I'm great.
Okay. You've been very busy.
So busy.
On all of your own accord. You took on a task, and I think you'll be doing it from now until the
It's
end of
more
time.
than a task. It's a project.
Oh, it's a project. All right.
I spoke to my mother yesterday, and she was like, Daddy asked if I should fly up to help you. And I was like, no, I'm good. I got it.
MomBrain is painting the kitchen. That's what she's decided to do.
Oh, okay.
Why? Doesn't matter. She's doing it.
Because I wanted to. I'm not just painting the kitchen. I'm painting the cabinets, which means they all have to be taken down and sanded.
Oh, sure. If you want to do it the right way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not what I would do. I would paint them while they were on there, realize a third
You
of the
painted
way
them
in it was
shut.
a horrible idea, and it'd be like, well, this is how it is now.
I think you might just spray paint them.
I would?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't spray paint in the house, only because
It's
of
too much work.
the
Fumes.
cat.
You'd have
The cat
people
I-
in with paintball guns, and you'd have a little paintball fight, and then
That would be
it.
great.
In
That
just
would
the
be
kitchen,
great.
like 5 people with paintball guns in our kitchen that's the size of a postage stamp.
Not a lot of room to maneuver in there. You'd have to hide behind a lot of cabinet doors.
That would really hurt.
Hi, Kirby. How are you?
Good.
Deux is here. How are you doing?
Cuckoo.
And I'm here. Of course, Josh Grobot is here. Josh, how's your weekend going? How you doing? Oh, wop, 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 wop. I hear you, Josh. I get it.
Gilbert's got the idea.
And George is here. George, how are you doing this weekend?
Buongiorno. Molto bene.
Oh, George always always adds a special air to the show. There's just something about him.
Why would you say that?
Well, you too, Josh. Of course, it goes without saying. But between the two of you, George is the newer of the two.
Boring.
I've gotten a few emails about why Josh dislikes George so much. Josh, anything to say about that?
That's none of your
I
business.
had a feeling that would be the case. Let me say
Too
hello.
many
Does
lines.
George have anything to say about it?
Oh.
I'm pretty humble.
George is
That story
easygoing.
was boring and dumb.
He's feeling lime. He's feeling lime
A
all
big
the.
hello to my fans.
All right, Josh. Jeez, feeling lime all the time. Let me say hello to Anastasia Beaverhausen, Nintendo, the 8-bit Lego Sneaker Hacks, Ice Dilbert with a lovely Mr. Bean gif in there. Tony De La Mancha. Never mind. I was going to say something stupid. Hi, Khufu the Mummy, and Drake, and the Super Sanchez, and Vachi, and Nico Darunia. Oh, no. Does it say that? Webisoder. Stuff happens. Hi, Steel Diver. I accidentally typed GoNintendo Podcast Webisoder 886. Why does it say
like it.
Webisoder there?
Webis-
Weird.
Webisode.
Yeah,
It
sodies.
doesn't. I need
Sodies.
to drink my sodies. It doesn't say it in the link.
So how do
But
you
it
get
says it in
your?
the
What do you normally drink
title.
to get in all your hydration?
Sodies.
It's so good.
Hi, Giant Reggie. Good to see. I only have. Well, I only have one real thing I want to talk about before we get into news. But first things first. What a week, right? Am I right? Anybody else have a really rough week?
I
Okay.
think just you.
Oh, well, MomBrain, you've been having a week because you're doing this stuff. I mean, it was towards the end of
Just
the week.
started
But,
yesterday, so
it feels like forever though. You spent a lot of yesterday. doing
Why?
it.
Why when MomBrain has like home projects that involve like elbow grease and work, are you the one that's always complaining about it? I don't understand that.
Do you want a real answer?
Yeah, well, maybe she complains to you behind closed doors, but like she never like complains to me about it. And I hear you complaining that she's got to do this stuff.
Yes, because there are two reasons. One, I feel bad that she doesn't relax. Two, I don't really care. Like I'm only joking around. I'm not like, oh damn it, the kitchen. I can't. I don't give a crap at all. I'm just joking around. So number one is the only reason I feel bad because she's like, I got to do this, and I know MomBrain, she will not be able to rest until it is completely finished, and then even then, she won't be happy with it completely. There will be something else. I feel bad because when she starts a project, I'm like, oh, this is going to be like a couple weeks of her really going nuts and then not being happy with how it is in the end. So it was like the dining room. We did the dining room, liked it, but not really liked it. Then you had to get all the other stuff hung up and like, buy a shelf from IKEA. And now you're like, okay, now it's where I want it to be. Now you do. Yeah. But during you were like, I need something over here. This needs to go over here. Like,
I like that.
you like the being upset about it? That's fine.
She's not upset. It's
Making the
So-
space.
yeah. Some people enjoy a little stress. I've learned.
All that, yes, that I don't know. Would you say you're one of those people, MomBrain?
No, I don't enjoy stress, but I do work better when there's like a clear cut like deadline or need, like, oh, I want to do it before school starts.
So would you say you like the art of
Mm-hmm. Dandori.
Dandori? That's
Oh.
exactly what I was looking for. So yeah, that's it. I think MomBrain will back me up and say that I'm not like, what's going on here? This stupid crap. Can't we finish this? I'm like,
No, you just complain that it's happening.
well, not
Mhm.
seriously complain.
Well, maybe just don't.
Don't joke around. I can stop joking around about it. Yeah. If that's what you would like.
You wanna get some sandpaper out and
Oh no. This is all your project. I'm not getting involved with it at all. If you want to go nuts and tear apart the kitchen, you have at it. But I will
it's torn apart.
not be part of your vision because I can't see your vision, and I don't need to see your vision. All I need is to make food in the kitchen. I don't care what it looks
I
like.
left
So.
the microwave plugged in on top of the stove. So we're good.
Nice.
I haven't used it yet, but I'm kind of afraid to use it there.
Why?
Something seems weird, right? It's not weird that a microwave is plugged in on top of an oven. That is weird. Is anything going to go wrong with it? Probably not, but I'm just like uncomfortable because I'm like, I don't want to be the one responsible for breaking this if something happens.
Okay.
No?
I don't know what would break. It's just not in the place it normally is.
It just makes me nervous.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, what's the bottom of a microwave feel like when you're using it? I got no idea. You put it on a shelf or a piece of wood. I don't know if you put it on like another
On the glass cooktop that you cook on and make things hot.
Whoa. Hold on. Microwaves cook differently from ovens. Microwaves are nuclear reactions.
25-pound turkey in a microwave oven.
Well, I wasn't like purposefully holding back, but if I need to
I
nuke
couldn't care
something,
less
I'll nuke
how
it.
you cook for yourself as long as you're cooking for
But
yourself.
that's the thing. You would if something went wrong. especially with the oven. Like if one thing's going to break, you're going to want it to be the microwave because you don't really use it. If it's the oven, you're going to be upset.
I would love
A new oven.
Oh my god.
That's why she wants me to use it. She wants to get a new oven.
There you
all right,
go.
we got to the bottom of it.
Santa gave me a new washer and dryer last Christmas. This Christmas, I want a new oven
Yeah, there's nothing worse than an underpowered oven.
or an electric oven
Or electric anything.
when you
really.
have gas hookup in your kitchen and could be used.
See, like this is, another world to me because I put food in the oven and then it's done and that's it. I'm never like this.
Oh, but it'll be so much better in a gas oven. It'll be done so much faster.
Really, how much faster?
Light speed.
I don't believe you.
It'll be like a commercial.
Oh, you want
oven.
like a restaurant oven?
It's gonna be. Yeah, Santa's bringing it.
Wait, we don't need that.
No, but it'll be great.
What are you gonna cook in there?
25-pound turkey.
You're gonna cook ham for Christmas that you won't eat anyway.
Did you tell everybody is that what you're gonna tell everyone? What you ate yesterday?
Oh,
First time?
this is exciting.
I wasn't. It's not that exciting. I mean, go right ahead.
Mhm.
I'd say it's not exciting at all,
Go
but
ahead.
you brought it up. You're the hyped one.
He tried Taco Bell.
See, that's not.
he got
You're gonna mislead people right off the
the
bat.
spicy potatoes with like the cheese on top.
So
Oh,
I didn't
nice.
really, I got it from Taco Bell. But if
It's
somebody's
not,
like,
it's not a burrito. It's not that
No.
burrito with the potatoes in it. It's
No,
just a
I
bowl,
got that.
kind of.
It's a bowl, yeah.
The soft taco with the potatoes because I'd never
A
had
little
one before.
spicy, right?
Amazing.
Yeah,
I
that's
put
pretty
guac
good.
on it because I like guac. I think it might have been a mistake because it was like so much mushy. It could have used like something a little more crunchy.
I do love a mushy meal. I am a mushy meal person. I don't know why, but mushy's my texture.
And what did you
I think it's because you're Irish.
you have to drink with it?
Well, I actually had a Diet Baja Blast, but when MomBrain went to say it, she said I was getting a Mountain Dew Ha Blast. So that's definitely the new name. The best part was she said Mountain Dew Ha Blast and knew she said something wrong, but couldn't figure out what
Oh,
she
that's
did to
good.
say it
That
wrong.
wasn't right, but I don't know what wasn't right about it.
Well, that's what it is from now on, the Dew Ha Blast.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then again
Dooha.
today, you tried to say it wrong.
Bahu, I think.
And
I
you said a
said-
Bahu, yeah.
Off-road the Bahu.
Both are way
A
better.
Rebahu. So yes, I had the potato bowl from Taco Bell, oddly enough, because of H3, because whenever they order, Dan doesn't eat meat, and he's like, I get the potato bowl, and I was like,
Whenever
I should
they
try it.
order, every episode, I've been listening to them while I've been doing the kitchen. They order every episode.
Well, now
or
that
talk
Love is
about
there, I'm
ordering.
sure it's gonna go like every episode. They usually order some kind of food every episode. It was boba for a long time, and they threw in some Taco Bell in there once in a while. But I mean, Love is a huge fan of Taco Bell, so he
They
just moved
talked
here.
about boba during the spicy chip
Yes.
episode. But
MomBrain
didn't
is
get
now a regular listener.
Oh, we might be on the same episode then if that's the episode you just watched.
She's ahead of me, so she's
I'm
on the sour
listening.
challenge or whatever.
it. Yeah, I
Oh.
just finished the. Did I finish the sour challenge? Yes.
Did I finish the sour challenge?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's enough about other podcasts. Yeah, it was just a week. I was very stressed out, very busy. It was a struggle to make it through to the end of the day most of the time, but here we are on the weekend. Also, quick note about next week's show. I am going to do it on Friday because Saturday is my birthday. And I love the podcast, but I don't feel like doing the podcast on my birthday. My sister's bringing
Why
food
not?
and stuff to hang out. So just letting you know, Friday will be the podcast. Saturday, I will be doing as little site-related stuff as possible. So that's the plan. Now, the one thing I want to talk about that's actually game-related before we get to news.
I got you a little birthday present, and the last part of it came today.
Well, thank you. But I told you not to.
Just a little something.
So, we
Mhm.
talked about this last week. Resident Evil 2 Remake is the best-selling Resident Evil game ever.
I've heard of that.
We had a little bit of a discussion about it.
Yeah, I thought about that too.
I'm going to read you my article. And there's a point. This isn't about you at all, but we talked about it last week.
Okay.
I'm going to read all of you this article that I wrote. And then we're going to do a little Q&A with you guys, and then I'll get to the reason why I'm talking about this. This is read word for word as I typed it.
This.
The original Resident Evil 2 was an incredibly popular entry in Capcom's long-running franchise, but now there's another installment that's even more popular, sort of. Capcom's updated list of million sellers has revealed that Resident Evil 2 Remake has sold a whopping 12.6 million units so far. That's an absolutely staggering achievement, and that total is good enough to make Resident Evil 2 Remake the best-selling Resident Evil game of all time. Looks like Capcom's plan to release remakes for the mainline Resident Evil entries is an incredibly smart one. While a native port of Resident Evil 2 Remake isn't available on Switch, you can still enjoy the title through Resident Evil 2 Cloud. This version is 25% off until August 8th, so sorry, guys. Dropping the price to $30. There's even a free demo to grab in order to test things out and make sure your internet connection is up to the task.
This is on GoNintendo. This isn't writing for Capcom's website.
Nope, that's
Okay.
me. Wrote the whole thing.
Very good.
We're
I
done.
understood all of it, and it was great information.
Thank you.
So who complained about it?
Did you find anything, divisive about that?
I mean, me, no, but you're, talking good things about a game that I love. So.
So someone left a comment, not going to read their name. Says, quote, "Your scathing hatred of remakes is really showing in this post for your opinion.
Wow.
It's pretty clear from your dismissal of RE2 Remake as just a remake, you've never played either. It's fine to not like them. It's not fine to dismiss something you haven't played and be judgmental about it."
You played it, buddy. First of all, you played it, so I got your back on that.
First of all, you heard the whole article. Where is the anything in there?
The only thing was in the very one of the first sentences, you were like seemingly so or something. You put something like that.
I said, but now there's another installment that's even more popular, sort of.
Yeah, and I don't think that's bad, but what
the sort of is in reference to it's not new. It's a remake. That's all. Resident Evil 2 was the best-selling Resident Evil game, but now there's a new one, Resident Evil 2. It wasn't a knock on remakes. It wasn't a knock in any way. It was a sort of because it's Resident Evil 2 again. That's it. That was the only thing I was saying.
To be honest, that's probably the least offensive thing I've ever heard you say about remakes.
Yeah, you left your opinion at the door on that one. I don't know what the...
Yeah, the sort of was, if anything, a joke and a clarifier, because if anybody's like, what's the best-selling Resident Evil game? And you responded Resident Evil 2, you can't say that.
You have to
say Resident Evil 2 Remake. So that was not even a joke, a slight joke, but just a comment. Resident Evil 2 is the best-selling Resident Evil, sort of, because it's not, it's Resident Evil 2 Remake. It's not the original Resident Evil 2. That's it. It's a clarifier. No shade, no anything.
Professional.
Yeah.
I thought if that person must listen to the podcast or something, because there's no other way. If you didn't listen to the podcast, they would have no idea what you think about remakes, really.
So they definitely
follow
listen
you
to the
on
podcast. But
Patreon.
they say your scathing hatred of remakes is really showing in this post for your opinion.
That's so crazy.
Where is it? I would argue there's nothing. I mean, first things first, I'm going to be biased because I wrote the article. I would say there was no scathing hatred because there isn't, I never write my posts.
The
like
hatred's
that.
out there, but it's just not in that article.
My hatred of remakes, certainly, I've talked about it on the podcast. I don't hate people who play remakes, and I don't hate that remakes exist. I personally dislike remakes, but your scathing hatred of remakes is really showing in this post. I would argue, no, not at all. That was never the intention, and there's nothing in there to show any dislike of remakes in any way, shape, or form.
I don't really think that you publish much of anything scathing on purpose.
I never, ever do news posts that have any opinion in them. Or I guess there's a little bit of an opinion in everything, but because I say that's a staggering success. I would argue 12.6 million is, and being the best-selling Resident Evil game of all time is another staggering success. But sure, we could argue that that's opinion. But if anything, the opinion in this article is positive, or painting in a positive
You
light.
even say remaking all the main lines seems to be a smart idea or something like that. It's kind of like,
while I don't like the remakes, I can recognize it's a very smart business decision. It makes perfect sense. I see why they're doing it because of situations like this. So I think this person is a podcast listener or maybe a Patreon subscriber, and they know I don't like remakes, and it rubs them the wrong way. So now when they read things that I write, they automatically interject that into the writing.
Knowing you the way that I do, and knowing how you do feel about remakes, if I were to read that article, I would probably think to myself, he's trying real hard not to give an opinion. But you're not really. You're just doing what you always do, and
giving the
you're
facts.
giving the facts.
Yep.
So but again, just like I said, because I know your opinion, I'm probably thinking with every line like, oh, he's probably trying to come up with a way to not say that he hates this, but it's clear that that's not how you work. So.
Thank you. Hi, Tentavision. Hi, Cumulative. Tentavision says they clearly didn't read it. Hi, Malakayla. That's also... Hi, William George. I guess those are all good points. Hi, Spaniel. Good to see you. Hi, I would be Nick. I see you mentioning Micro Magic. You could derail the whole show with that. Yeah, I mean, like, normally comments don't get to me, but I read this one and I'm like, I try so hard. With news posts to make sure I don't interject opinion. I leave that for reviews. And even when I leave it for reviews, it's very respectful. But I'm like, here, I write this news post and somebody's like, scathing hatred clearly on display here.
Yeah, it reminds me of your article about, what's his name? The Completionist.
Oh, that's right.
Your hit job on The Completionist.
Yep, hate that guy.
He's just a fan.
Right,
Just a
exactly.
fan,
Just
yeah.
a fan.
It's so continuing on, as we said, your dismissal of RE2's remake. You could like point that more at you if you want.
I thought I did. It might have like moved again after I already sat down.
You do whatever you need to do, baby. They say your dismissal of RE2's remake as just a remake. Also, I didn't say that anywhere in the post. You've never played either. Well, first things first, you can go back to our high school days to attest that I did play Resident Evil 2 because we literally talked about it all the time.
Oh, they're saying that you didn't even play the original Resident Evil 2?
It's pretty clear from your dismissal of RE2's remake as just a remake, you've never played either the original or the remake.
That's
so
crazy.
Back in high school days, I used to leave our math class to go to the payphone to call GameStop to see if my pre-order was in, to come back and tell Deux that no, it's not in there. Yes, it is.
It might have even been Babbage's back then.
It might have been. You're probably right. And then, so I guess you can only attest to me having a pre-order. You can't say for sure that I've played the game, but
I know
you
played the game. Yeah, we talked about it.
Also, before the show, I made a point to go downstairs and get my boxed copy of Resident Evil 2 for the PS4, which I bought because Deux said I should play it, and I said he's a friend. I'll take his word for it.
I'm vouching for RMC. He did play and finish this game, but to be honest with you, pulling out a game from your collection and showing it to the camera doesn't mean you played it, buddy. I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch you haven't played.
You have every game ever published ever.
Barbie's Pony Adventure. Like, look, I have it.
That's what I'm saying for both of these. I said with Resident Evil 2, the original, you can attest that I pre-ordered it, but you can't that I bought it or that I actually played it. But then you went ahead and said, I'm sure you played it. So this one I show that I own, and you're like, we can't say you played it. That's true. I guess you could go on my PlayStation Network account and see how much time I got. Maybe there's a trophy for saying you've completed the game.
Now you're getting well, you don't need to go that far.
No, we do. Because this guy says clearly I've never played either of them. So,
but they also said that in this post it shows how scathing you are, and that's untrue as well. So
all I'm saying is, from a factual perspective, if you are questioning A, if I played the remake of Resident Evil 2, B, you're questioning whether I finished it, you can go to my PSN name, which is Raw Meat Cowboy. I think it is. And you can look up my trophies.
The story changes.
You can look up my trophies. I'm sure you get a trophy for completing the game. I did complete it. And on top of all that, we've talked about this game multiple times on the podcast, and I talked about the story decisions that were changed that I didn't like. I remember giving the game a 7 because I found it to be good. It was fun. I had a nice time, but I don't prefer it to the original, which again, I did play. But there you go. I don't know what else to do. I mean, do I dislike remakes? Yes, I do. You are right on that. But I would say everything else you said in that comment is untrue. 100% untrue. And if my sort of comment made you think that I was showing my hate for remakes,
wrong,
all I can tell you is you're reading that completely wrong. I don't know what else to do. Like, I thought it was very clear that it was about, Resident Evil 2, and Resident Evil 2 is now the best-selling Resident Evil, but it's not Resident Evil 2. It's Resident Evil 2 2019.
And you're part of why it sold so well, right? Because here's your copy that you bought.
Put my money out there. I bought it. Yeah, I got no problem supporting games. And I would never comment on the quality of a remake that I haven't played because I don't play most of them. Resident or Final Fantasy VII remake, I commented on that only a little bit because I only made it up through, I don't know, when you get off the train. And I was like, I've had enough. I've seen it. I was like, I like the music a lot. It was visually beautiful, and the voice acting was bad. That's like, that's as far as I'm going because obviously I played probably not even a tenth of what the game has to offer. So there's that.
They
But
changed up some of the story stuff too in annoying ways.
I've read that they have. Yeah. Well, they definitely have because now you poor people gotta wait for the next one, and then the next one on top of that to play the full game you played decades ago. But that's
I'd
another
wait
thing.
gladly if it was going to be done well, but they're truncating so much and they're chopping it up and there's no mystery to it. I mean, Sephiroth was in like the first 10 minutes of the game. It like made no sense.
What?
Hi, Gecko Kitsune. Tensivision says the game is very successful. How dare you? Yeah, I know.
Dare you.
Well, William George, it could have been a troll. That's true. You never know. But
Pretty clever troll.
all I can say is, I mean, I wouldn't say it's. Well, I guess you could say it's clever because it irked me, but only in a sad way, not an angry way. Like it makes me sad because I'm like, as I said, I work so hard
Sad
on the
for
site
you.
to
I'm
not
fed up
throw
with
in
this world.
opinion on things when it's outside of a review, and yet somebody comes along and says this. So I left them a response, and it was very level-headed and very even-keeled, and I was thanked them for leaving a comment to begin with, and of course, they never said anything back. So if it was just a troll to get me riled up, congratulations, you did it.
Well, now
I
we
do
need-
have a heart, and I do feel sad, so you made it happen, but there it is.
Well, now
There
we
it
need
is.
to we need you to read your response to see if there's any scathing hatred in that as well.
Uh,
Yeah, you know what? Because if
I
you
will read
reached
you the
out to
response.
them,
I'll read you the response.
they
You
might have read
asked-
that and been like, "Oh man, your scathing response to me."
All right, so feel free to interject when you hear anything that you'd like to object to,
Mhm.
either for a funny reason or a serious reason. Just
Okay.
please qualify. First off, thank you for the comment. Are we good? May I continue?
Objection.
You son of a bitch.
Second, I played the original all the way back when it came out on the PS1. I purchased and played the remake as well.
Anyone could have Googled that and found out what system it was on. All right.
That's true. I can certainly offer more proof if you need, but I've talked about it at length on a few episodes of our podcast. Last but not least, I am honestly wondering what I said in my post above that shows that I have a, quote, scathing hatred, end quote, of remakes. I read it through 3 times over, and I'm really at a loss. I would love some more insight on where you get that feeling from. The only thing I think you might be referencing is my, quote, sort of, end quote, comment. That wasn't meant as a knock against RE2 Remake at all. That was a reference to how the original Resident Evil 2 and the 2019 remake have exactly the same name. There's no way to determine which version of Resident Evil 2 someone is talking about unless they clarify the year or say remake.
It took you more time to write this message to this person than it did to write the article. This
Yes,
is so
that is
frustrating.
true.
This is so
Honestly,
frustrating.
that was the joke I was going for with that. I'm truly sorry if it came across in another way, as that wasn't my intention. If there's anything else in the post that you read as misleading or shows off my scathing hatred, please let me know. There you go. Never replied to. Never replied. There you go. That's all I got. So,
Do you often get replies in situations like that?
I get replies to stuff every day, all day. Normally, they don't say. Normally, I can't tell you the last time I responded to like a hate comment or something like that. But this one, I was like, it's so far off from what I was trying to do. Like, I just don't get
Yeah,
it.
if they were like more unhinged and cursed and stuff, you probably wouldn't even have acknowledged it. But because
Yeah.
it was kind of like well worded, and it was like, man, if anyone just read this comment and not my article, they would be like, this guy's right.
Well, it was just the juxtaposition of like, or my confusion was like saying scathing hatred with what I wrote. I'm like, what did I say in here that I'm missing where it's
Right.
coming through? 'Cause-
Yeah, even if they had written something like, I could tell you don't like remakes by the way you wrote this post, it still wouldn't make sense.
Yeah,
but like
exactly.
scathing hatred is like pretty harsh.
if anybody said like, I can see you don't like remakes by your post, I'd be like, I don't get it. I'd reply and be like, I'm sorry you feel that way. No, I didn't mean anything for it to come across in that light, but I can fix something up. But yeah, this scathing hatred, I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So, like we said, we know they're a podcast listener or a Patreon reader. And I wouldn't say I understand someone saying I have a scathing hatred of remakes. I really do dislike remakes. I don't hate them. There's very little that I hate. I don't like that they exist, but I don't dislike that people enjoy them and want them. I understand that completely. It's a me thing. But yeah, when I pride myself on being even keeled, not because I think I should be, but because that's how I feel, it's just extra frustrating when somebody's like, you have a scathing hatred. So there you go. That's that. That's not why I had a bad week. That was not even a blip, really, but just confusing to me. And I thought it'd be fun to talk about on a podcast. So there you go.
Even a pimple on the ass of humanity.
What is that from?
It's
I know it's from something.
It's a William Friedkin interview where he's just going off.
Oh, rest in
Oh.
peace.
Yeah, since he passed away recently. Rest in peace, William Friedkin. My TikTok has been flooded with all these like little bits of him just like chewing out, giving his opinion basically, which he was pretty good at.
Well, speaking of, that's exactly what I was thinking. Red Dead Redemption got announced for the Switch and the PS4.
Woo!
It's not a remake. I'm sorry, everybody. It's not a remaster. I'm sorry, everybody.
Yeah, it's just a port. Right?
It is, it'll be like an upscale port. So it will have a higher resolution than the original release. But it's just Red Dead Redemption on the Switch and the PS4. So it will look better, but I'm sure they've done a little bit of texture work in there here and there, but it's not a remaster or a remake. Certainly not a remaster. 1 bazillion, but not a remake. Let's say that. Comes out August 17th, will be physical and digital. But if you want the physical, you'll have to wait until October 13th. So Rockstar brings another game to the Switch and the PS4. And the internet lost its mind because we found out the game is priced at $50. Now, Red Dead Redemption on Switch and PS4 does include...
It's the game. It's fun.
Deux would say yes. I would say...
What's wrong with you?
I don't know what I would say. It's not a bad game. I'll say that. How
It
about
wasn't for you. I remember you not
Not for
really
me,
liking
yeah.
it. Wasn't your cappuccino.
That's right. But this version of the game also does include the Undead Nightmare DLC expansion. So I don't know what that
I
cost
liked
at the
that.
time.
That was
but,
cool.
But yes, the internet has been very unhappy about this because they don't think it should be priced at $50. They think it should be priced at dollars.
Well, it's the game's what, like 13 years old at this point?
I don't know the exact number, but that sounds good enough to
That
me.
doesn't mean anything to this guy here.
I was going to say I'm not getting into any of it. You guys are free to talk about it. But Take-Two CEO was asked about why it was $50. Oh, no, this is something else. Do I not have that as a top story? Oh, this is embarrassing. Oh, I meant to mention, I know last week there were some audio issues with my microphone. I don't know what was causing it. I think it was interference from my sister's plug on the table. I redid the wires for my microphone and I tested for a few times for 5 minutes each and I didn't hear the issue.
Toast.
So if it's there, I apologize. If it's not, hooray. Hooray. So I want to get you the comment from Take-Two Take-Two CEO because he commented on this pricing
said,
issue.
Give me the money. We're never making a new game ever.
He says, this is Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick. He was asked, why is it $50? And he says that is, quote, a commercially accurate price, end quote, for the game. He says, he's asked, is it $50 because the Undead Nightmare DLC is in there? And he says, quote, that was a great standalone game in its own right when it was originally released. So we feel like it's a great bundle for the first time and certainly a great value for consumers. Well, Kirby, is it a great value for consumers or do you disagree?
$50, man. I don't know. I don't know if I have an answer.
Yeah, I don't want to be one of those jerks. You know, it's just I wish it were less expensive, but I mean, who's going to say I wish games were more expensive? So is it worth it? I had fun with the game. I remember playing it for hours and hours. The Undead Nightmare campaign's great too. Having it on your Switch handheld, that's totally cool. But like, if I hadn't played the game, maybe if it was brand new to me, but to buy something or to be like enticed to buy something that I already own, that that I can play easily, that I can get on like modern day systems for cheaper. I don't know. I think it's a little expensive, but that's just me. I know there are some schools of thought that think, a good game is a good game forever and the worth is, whatever it's worth. But if you're saying that, then what's the Super Nintendo Classic have? Like 20 games on there? Like that thing was like $150. Shouldn't it be like $1,000? Because there's 20 games.
I could be wrong though.
Okay.
I might be wrong.
You might be right because I bought it aftermarket. So, but regardless, like if you're looking at it that way, it's like, well, then we should be charging $50 for every single one of those games in there, and that little system should be $1,000. That's silly, like it doesn't seem like it's worth that.
Well, yeah, I mean there are other factors and stuff like that. It's emulated. You're not getting any physical. Like all those games used to be physical. Obviously, all of them were physical, and that was it. Now they're digital. So there's things to mitigate in there. Some pricing, obviously, like also. There's a few games in that collection that aren't as highly regarded as other games that are on there. Like it's a great selection of games in general.
It was a weird example to use, but
William George says more than likely they'll skip it until it's $30. Would you buy it again? Or let's put it this way. What would the price have to be for you to buy it again as it is? We're not talking remake or remaster, just as it is now.
I don't know if I'd go back. Like, I don't know. I would say for me, I'd buy it at $20, but like I wouldn't. I'd only be buying it to have it. I don't think I'd be even wanting to play it. Red Dead 2 just does so many things for me better, and you can make clothes and little things like that. But like, so I don't know if I want to go back and play that. Plus, the Red Dead story, I know it really well. It's kind of like played out for me. So I'm the wrong audience for this game, I think. But
Steelberg confirms 2010. So that was 13 years ago. Steel Diver says, I don't see the problem with $50. If you want it cheap, you can buy it used for the PS3 or 360. Again, yes, you can certainly do that. So yeah, let's see what commenters say on the article. Human Fart says, giddy up. This is exciting news. The song that plays the first time you enter Mexico is one of my favorite gaming moments. I don't remember it.
Yeah, that part was cool.
I remember, there was like a song playing that sounded like kind of like modern compared to the rest of the music. Because
it actually had lyrics, and it was like one of the first times I remember playing a game where like, because it was all just like regular game music up until that point, and then it was like a story beat, and this song comes on with lyrics, and I was like, wow, this is interesting.
You remember we used to call it the Mexican Island? Because it was kind of like
I do remember you guys calling it that.
Yeah, like in GTA, you go to different islands.
Oh, that's right.
So Mexico was kind of its own island. In the
I remember the music in Snake Eater when you climb up the ladder and the lady singing that song. Like that really hit me because I was like, "This is awesome. This is a great song. This is also so Kojima, where you climb up a 4-minute ladder."
Yeah,
great stuff. So there you go. It's $50. Here's a radical idea. If you want it, and you're okay with it being $50, buy it. If you don't want to spend $50, don't buy it. There you go. That's all I got for you. Vote with your wallet, as they say, or purse, or crumbled up pocket money, whatever. All right, we got Europe's top 15 for July 2023. These are on the eShop. I won't make you guys do this one. You're off the hook. Don't worry. Do you want to?
No, I want you to read them with this music.
Number 15, starting with 15. Again, this is Switch eShop only in Europe for July. Number 15, Everybody Want to Switch. Not a great debut for that game. Not surprising at all, though. Number 14, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe.
Because of the bow tie guy. That's what I'm just kidding.
People saw that bow tie guy and they're like, I'm out.
No deal.
13, EA Sports FIFA 23. 12, Animal Crossing New Horizons. 11, Pikmin 1 and 2. 10, Disney Dreamland.
Hole in one
Disney
two.
Dreamlight Valley. Number 9, Mario Party Superstars. Number 8, Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life. Number 7, Nintendo Switch Sports. Number 6, A Little to the Left. Number 5, Stardew Valley. Number 4, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Number 3, Tears of the Kingdom. Number 2, Minecraft. Number 1,
I thought we didn't have to guess.
number 1.
Oh man, if I had known, I would have paid attention. You told me that I wasn't gonna.
Oh, you weren't paying attention at all. Okay, Pikmin 4 is number 1.
Oh, I guess I should have
Pikmin
guessed
4,
that.
baby. Well, if you weren't paying attention, you thought I had said it already. So nice job, Europe. We're very proud of you.
Proud of you.
There's also a Pokemon Presents this week. Thank you to Nintendo Jam for covering that event, because I'm not the most well-versed in the world of Pokemon. And Nintendo Jam is much more informed. So he took this on. Excellent work, as always, doing that for us. What was covered? We got the breakdown for you. The 2023 Pokemon Championships were talked about. Those are going on right now, everybody. Tune in on the live streams to watch the Pokemon Go, Pokemon Scarlet, Violet, Pokemon trading card game tournaments all going on. We also got a first look at the Pokemon Path to the Peak animated series that's on YouTube. The first episode is out right now. Detective Pikachu Returns got a new trailer. We got a look at the Pokemon Go Fest 2023. Pokemon Go is adding Paldea region Pokemon this September. Pokemon Unite is celebrating its 2nd anniversary, so we got details on that celebration. Pokemon Masters EX is celebrating its 4th anniversary, and there's some celebrations for that as well. Pokemon Cafe Remix got some new events. We got a double dose. If you're a Switch Online member, congratulations. You got 2 more Pokemon games to enjoy. You can hop on and enjoy the Pokemon Stadium 2 game for the N64. That's now available. Or you can play the Game Boy Color game, Pokemon Trading Card game, that teaches you how to play the Pokemon Trading Card game. And I'm very excited to play that because I missed it back in the day. And I heard it still does an excellent job of teaching you the core mechanics of the trading card game. So I'm very excited to play that one. Some events for Pokemon Sleep were detailed. Pokemon Paldean Winds is an animated series that's coming up, and we got to look at that one. Mew and Mewtwo events were detailed for Scarlet and Violet. And then finally, we learned that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, the Hidden Treasure of Area Zero, Part 1. That is DLC. That's
It must be
Part
amazing.
1.
Sure,
Just
why
hold on,
not?
I'm almost done. Part 1 DLC, the Teal Mask, comes out September 13th. There you go.
Must be amazing to be a Pokemon fan. They just
eat good.
have it all. They eat good. That's a good one. That's a good way to put it.
Well, if you got a phone, you can play stuff. If you got a
I wouldn't
Switch, you
have a
can play
problem.
stuff. You know, it's the same as a lot of other Nintendo properties, but not to the same degree, certainly. Like Pokemon Company only does Pokemon games, so of course that's what they're going to do. But yeah, you got Unite and Cafe and Go and Scarlet and Violet and all this animated content and free downloads.
I don't know how you'd find time for any other type of game. You'd only be playing Pokemon games.
If you're like uber dedicated to Pokemon, then yeah, I would imagine like you're using Pokemon Sleep every night, and then you wake up and play the dailies in Pokemon Cafe Remix and Unite, and maybe play Unite on your phone, and then you go over to the Switch version, and then Scarlet, Violet, you're hopping online to do some battles, and you're waiting for the DLC to come out. So yeah, if you're really, really
Doing it.
diehard Pokemon, you always have something to do.
And do the two of you still use Pokemon Sleep?
No, I'm out.
Oh no.
I don't know.
I didn't like having to leave my phone on.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the big
And
thing.
like in bed with me.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that, but I just didn't like having my phone on all the time. Human Fart says, "Do
That's me.
all this news is for you. I bet you love this segment." That's what they say.
Thanks, Human Fart.
Kerbo also has the most upvoted comment, and they say, "I think I've outgrown Pokemon, especially the main games. They don't do it for me anymore. And the performance and quality just can't be overlooked anymore. Peace and love to those who still enjoy." There you go.
Peace and love. That's another one. So was Human Fart saying in so many words that I have a scathing hatred for Pokemon? Is that what they were trying to say?
That's what they were saying.
Spicy meatball!
Moving on. MomBrain, what years are Gen Z? I don't know. I figure you know.
The Zoomers.
Are they older
Zoomers
than
are
us?
now.
Oh, really?
Gen Z is older than us, right? No.
No, that's Gen
Gen
X.
X is older than us.
Is there a Gen Y too?
Gen
I
Z,
think
mid
so.
to late 90s and early 2010s. So that's
So like kids we wouldn't have really like spent much time with because they're like
Almost
10 years
family,
younger
yeah.
than us.
But 1990.
Yeah.
So this is about Gen Z. Apparently, thanks to a survey, the Social Impact Barometer 2023 survey involved 100 different companies to ask Gen Zers, where would you like to work and why? And the top 3 choices were LinkedIn, Nintendo, and Sky. Why is that? Because of their social impact.
Numbers.
So this was in the career maker category. Gen Z picked Nintendo as the second best to work at because they believe Nintendo has a forward-thinking attitude around corporate social responsibility, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Nintendo does talk very openly and is very forward about those initiatives and wanting to change that as far as corporate goes. So that is great. Yes, Nintendo is very forthcoming about that kind of stuff. 93% of the people in the survey who responded said they wanted an employer who gives them opportunities to drive positive or environmental social change, while 82% said it was important for the company to have inclusivity policies for the LGBTQ plus community. So there you go, Nintendo.
I often say this. I don't think I would be a good fit in a job that I felt like I was just another like little person on the line. You know, like I would like to believe that if I wasn't a teacher, I would be doing something for a company that I felt was doing good things in the world and like not hurting people. And, you know, like I think that's really great that people
Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
that,
hurting people. Never mind.
Yeah,
Diarrhea.
they're hurting
diarrhea.
them bad.
you know, I think that's important that kids are interested in jobs.
What food company did you read that's like 93% Democratic? Was it Taco Bell?
Sonic.
Oh, Sonic.
They're
That's what it was.
well, where they donate. You know.
Yes, their donations.
So I was
Wait,
like, all right, well.
what was that? A TikTok that came up?
Yeah.
It was like fast food places and where their corporate donations go, Republican or
And
Democratic.
a lot were Republican.
Sonic was
unfortunately.
93% Democratic.
That's interesting. Well,
We're not
Sonic-
saying this to tell you guys where to eat. Eat wherever you want. That's fine. It was just interesting data. I'd never looked or I'd never seen that data before.
Well, Sonic mixes all flavors of sodas, right?
All different flavors.
Something.
That's true.
Let
You're
me-
right.
And
The diversity,
textures.
equity, and inclusion in their drinks is top.
And there are
notch.
multiple ways you could pull up and do like the drive-in. You could sit outside. You could do the drive-through. I mean, they're all about
They will serve
choice.
anyone anyway in whatever method you want, and it all gets you to the same place.
One
the
could
toilet.
argue they your meal, your choice.
That's
you
right.
could even say.
Um,
Let me tell you, I don't think I spoke about this. I drank both.
Duha
There's
Blast,
a Duha Blast.
Dupa Blast.
Their strawberry shortcake slush. It was so freaking delicious.
So, MomBrain, this is so lame and so great.
So it was like just a slushy that tasted like that?
Well-
not ice cream milkshake? Or ice
it was
cream
a
milkshake, who calls it
slushy
that?
ATM machine.
that had ice cream in it. So it was like
Okay.
a float kind of.
Okay, all right.
And then it had bits of strawberry in like the slushy part
Ooh,
and
that
maybe even
strawberry.
on top. And then a sprinkling of like like that dusting sugar. So like big sugar crystals. So it like
Big
crunched.
sugar.
It was so
Out to
good.
get you.
Mhm.
I was gonna say, MomBrain and I are proof that people can change because MomBrain used to go to Rita's and I hated Rita's. Then she also hated Rita's. I don't know where the turning point was. We also went to Sonic a couple times decades ago and didn't like it at all. And then lived our life for that forever. And now we're both Team Sonic and Team Rita's. We were like, what? Because
Are you
while
back on Rita's now?
yeah, well, for like the
Rita's
last
would
few
not
months,
be my number one.
but you
choice.
like it. Like you've gotten
It's
things
fine.
that you like.
It's fine. If I mean there are quite a few other options I
Have
would
you
prefer,
or have you
but
not? What? We're not talking about that. That's not what this is about.
I don't want anybody.
Everybody would prefer something other than what they get. Yes, we
Everybody
all
would
love to
prefer
eat-
something other than Rita's.
Jeez, relax.
We all prefer something better. But what I'm saying is, you've gone to Rita's. You have enjoyed things at
I've
Rita's.
gonorrhea.
That's what I heard.
You've gotten things from Rita's. You've given an 8 to
I'm a slut for ice
in
cream.
recent months, right? Correct. I'm not saying it's your favorite. I'm not saying you got to go there all the time. I'm saying we've turned a corner on both of them. We enjoy them now. So there you go. That's all.
And this ice cream place right down the road, is this still no go for you, or are you back on this place? Because I know this was your favorite, but then you did like it. And
What?
I have always.
Polar Cup?
yeah, I wasn't gonna say the
Yeah,
name, but I
yeah.
guess you
Whatever,
doxed
doesn't
him
matter.
now.
Man, no,
Too
I'm
much
all
trauma.
no. She from day one has loved them. I have always
That's what
hated them.
That's what I was trying
yeah,
to get at.
yeah. I gave them so many tries when I was younger. Always hated them. MomBrain will back up. I've recently given them, I'm going to say, at least 4 more tries. And I had one ice cream that was okay. Like, I would not get it again, but I was like, okay, it's fine.
And that was as good as it got.
That was as good as it's gotten from
You
there.
getting different things each time?
Yeah, because I'm trying to find something. I'm trying to find a way in to be like, here's something they got that I like. Not possible.
Man, how do you
For
screw
me.
ice cream up?
Yeah, right.
Well, she would say they don't, and I would say they do.
They don't.
Like, their brownie sundae was the most atrocious thing
Delicious.
I've ever seen in my life. So much so that even MomBrain was like,
Tasty.
this is a travesty. Like, it was made by someone who's never heard of or seen a brownie sundae, let alone a brownie. Like, I don't know. They picked up, I think this is what I think they did. They went to an espresso machine and they got the like grind puck out of the machine. They're like, it looks like a brownie. Throw that in there.
Ew.
Texture wise, taste wise, it was horrendous. It was
Ugh.
horrible.
That's awful.
But what did I get? I ate it on the bench with you, Dan, here, and I was like, that's fine.
You got hard ice cream.
It's fine.
Yeah, but I don't remember what flavor it was. It was just like, whatever. It's fine. It was ice cream. But yeah,
You
but
know
I
what?
will always go to Polar Cub for MomBrain because
Thank you. Speaking
could
of
you
ice
not?
cream, Aldi's
Yeah.
light vanilla ice
Yeah.
cream. Excellent.
So MomBrain and I'm sorry, we're so derailed. Whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm so out of it this week. MomBrain and I went to McDonald's to get their new McFlurry. If you didn't know, there's a new McFlurry. It's a, what do they call it? Peanut butter crunch McFlurry. It's peanut butter and like cereal bits and chocolate mixed in together. It was good. It was good. But MomBrain was like, I bet I could make this better. So she got all these fake Reese's Puffs cereal and just vanilla light ice cream from
I
Aldi.
bet I could make it better and fewer calories.
Yes,
Okay.
just vanilla light Aldi ice cream, correct?
Mhm.
And she made her version of this McFlurry, and it was definitely better, hands down. But I had
Oh, and powdered peanut butter I added.
oh, that's
for
right.
full disclosure, because you said it wasn't peanut buttery enough.
Well, you agreed, right? That
Yeah.
their
Nice
McFlurry, it had, you could tell it had peanut butter, but if you're naming something peanut butter crunch, I'm expecting peanut butter to be the forward flavor, and it really wasn't. So
I also felt like the ice cream was like milky, like in flavor. It was
yeah,
it wasn't creamy. It was milky. If
But
that makes sense.
this light vanilla ice cream from Aldi, it's really good. Like, I was surprised. If I don't even know if I guess it was light ice cream.
Yeah, and it's like it's good ice cream. Period.
You know, Aldi. I know you haven't been yet, but you
I've
got
been.
one. Oh, you have.
Oh yeah, I've been.
What'd you get there?
I can go and get ice cream.
Oh, all right. Well,
Yeah.
we're preaching to
And
the choir
it's
then.
I've never
2/3 of a
had the
cup
light ice cream, but
for 150 calories,
Yeah,
which I
yeah.
think is pretty reasonable.
We also went to Lidl recently. We've been to Lidl
Oh.
before. We also found out you call it Lidl because when we were in a store, it's Lidl. So we were saying Lidl,
Yes.
but in the loudspeaker in the store, they had an ad, and they were like,
You
Lidl, come to Lidl.
You made a
come
Lidl
to-"
mistake.
That's what we
That's
were
what we
joking
said.
about
Oh my
when we went.
God.
So we went there. Lidl is also awesome, man.
a little bit drunk.
They had they have so many good things, and you know what they introduced me to? So I'm interested in all like the Lidl stuff, like the Lidl brand stuff, like their cookies and their breads and all that. But they also have some name brand things, and I found out something. Mint moon pies.
Oh,
Mint moon pies. So I bought them.
sounds pretty
I
good.
think is my favorite. It's like eating a Thin Mint, but with marshmallow in it.
Wow, that's
Ooh.
probably really good.
What was that?
Tis me.
Yeah, it was very good. If you want one, they're in the kitchen. Help yourself. Uh,
Oh.
Good luck. I mean, you don't have to look hard because you
Good
can
luck
see
to
everything in the
you.
kitchen because there's no cabinets.
So there you go. The Gen Zers want to work at Nintendo. Joe Shabadoo says, I will give them all the credit they deserve for understanding how to treat their full-time salaried employees well and retain talent, as well as their caring about the craft of designing games. But their rather successful PR and legal teams work to highlight stories like these while burying others. burying others. Their treatment of contracted employees through staffing agencies and their use of them in general falls right in line with disappointing labor abuses that are felt across most industries. Also, they very recently condemned a man to a lifetime of financial ruin simply to make an example of him when he was an easy target in the face of piracy operations that extend well beyond him. Also, this was not a press release from Nintendo. I just want to make that clear. This is from the Social Impact Barometer, and I have all the methodology for their research. Just letting you know, this wasn't conducted by Nintendo. This wasn't paid for by Nintendo. This is a third party that did it on their own. So I don't want this to be like Nintendo says they're the best at doing these things. That's not the case. But yes, when it comes to obviously other things at Nintendo, they have a long way to go. This was just again, I'm not looking to get into whataboutism because it's like, here's this thing and people are like, well, what about that? And what about this? There are areas where Nintendo needs to improve greatly. I 100% agree with that. And this news that we heard here is good, but it doesn't do away with the bad things either. It's just one data point that we're pointing out here. And we've talked about the bad data points before in the past, and we will in the future, should there be any more. And obviously, if there's any union discussions that come up, MomBrain will be on top of them. So yes, we are not rah-rah Nintendo all the time, and we're not boo Nintendo all the time. We take each story as it is.
It's like boo.
And address it accordingly. So
you're more boo-rah or rabu.
Boo-rah. Mountain Boo-rah.
Rabu.
So, moving on. We have more comments from Take-Two CEO. So here's what's going on here. We talked about Switch successor rumors. Again, we only shared rumor details because that's all we know right now is rumors. Are they true? That's up for you to decide.
That's up to do.
That's up to do to decide. Yeah, his are true. Well, actually, they're not, but I hear this week might be true.
I don't have anything. Nothing came across my desk yet. So.
Okay. Hopefully, if it does, it'll be true. We did hear rumors of there being pushback from third parties with them saying to Nintendo, hey, Nintendo, don't make the Switch successor backwards compatible because that's going to make people more likely to buy less of the new games and play more of the old games. We want them to buy the new system and only have the option to play new games because that means more sales for us and obviously more sales for you. That's what we heard third parties were saying. We don't know if that's true. Honestly, for the bigger third parties, it makes sense. You can easily see how the bigger third parties are like, don't make our old games playable on the new thing. We want them doing a new thing. We want them only playing new games. So we don't want our older discounted sales to cannibalize our newer full price sales. So you can understand bigger third parties saying that. I'm not saying you agree with it, but you can see how a third party would say that.
I understand.
Yeah.
So Take-Two CEO was asked about this. They're like, backwards compatibility. What do you think? What about these rumors the third party's not wanting it? He says, Zaustrelnik again, he says, quote, you need to give consumers what they want and optimize their experience. And you can't not deliver a feature you're able to deliver so as to maximize sales.
Know what I mean?
That isn't fulfilling your contract with consumers. You have to do the very best you can for them. I suppose it's possible the lack of backward compatibility could enhance your revenue for a period of time, but at what cost? We're not a hardware manufacturer, so we don't get to make those decisions. But I think if you can be compatible technically, then you want to be. However, in certain instances, if the leap forward is great enough, that's not a possibility. So he's more leaning towards like, hey, if they can make it backwards compatible, they should do it. So good on you, Mr. Zelnick. That's what he's saying.
Good for him. What an interesting thing for him to say. Because it seems like he loves to maximize profits.
Yeah. The comments on Red Dead, yes. Shave quotes Mr. Zelnick and says, you can't not deliver a feature you're able to deliver so as to maximize sales, end quote. And the Shave says, apparently you haven't seen Nintendo's virtual console strategy over time. People are, to this day, and will forever be very angry that Nintendo moved away from the virtual console and moved to a subscription service. Yeah. And it's not a decision that personally angers me, but I understand it angers people greatly. They would rather the virtual console approach where you piecemeal what you get. And I don't know.
I think I would like the option at least.
Yeah. And if they were able to, make it last over all my devices, people would say, like if my Wii virtual console games could be played on my Switch, it would be amazing. I wouldn't want to. I don't know. It doesn't seem unreasonable to me, but I get it.
It doesn't seem unreasonable to a point. Like, how many decades are we going to get where like Nintendo's like, well, we got to spend a year now making sure the NES, the Super Nintendo, the Genesis, the Wii, the Wii U, the Switch, all can be played on whatever the next system. Like, where do you draw the line? The line's got to be drawn somewhere.
Well, the problem is I know absolutely nothing about electronics and what makes them work, because to me it's like, oh, those are older, smaller files. Why wouldn't they just play on my 2035 Switch?
Yeah,
that's gonna be super powerful or whatever. You know, like to a guy like me who doesn't have a brain in his head.
guy like me. I'm a guy like me.
It's like, you know, why can't they make it happen? Put it in my hand and make it happen. I got the money.
That's the thing. They could always make it happen. But what I'm saying is, it's like, look at the Pokemon Company. The Pokemon Company made a cut where they're like, we can't keep doing Pokemon games where we do another 150 brand new Pokemon because, I'm sorry, where we keep bringing over all the old Pokemon, because that takes time and manpower and work. And when you have, like, let's say 10,000 Pokemon, you're going to make sure all of them work in the new game and then make another new 150 on top of that. Like, games are going to take 20 years to make, and people already complain that games take too long. You have to draw the line somewhere. It has to be stopped at some point. So yes, in a perfect world, I would love every Nintendo system to be backwards compatible with all previous Nintendo systems, but that costs money, that takes time, that takes manpower. It's not feasible. Like, it wouldn't work. Like, you have to draw the line somewhere. Now, where is that line drawn? That's different for everybody, so I don't know.
Well, I'd
say,
us
like,
reparations then, I think.
I'd say, like, 3 generations of hardware. You're talking like that's 15 to 20 years. Is that not long enough? I don't know. 6 generations of systems? 40 years worth of systems? I don't know.
Well, I guess just, we learned late, but keep all your systems, keep all your games.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best way to make sure you can always play what you want to play. Keep the system they were made for. Then you can play them.
That's why you're sitting pretty, RMC.
Obviously, the stuff can break, and I get it. But, new systems can break. Everything can break. So that's not really an argument.
You could be asked by a friend to give back the system that...
Oh, let's not talk about that. So, yeah, I don't want to... I'm not being a Nintendo apologist here. This is an apologist for all companies from a perspective of it literally has to stop somewhere. You can't make everything backwards compatible forever for the history of your company. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense monetarily, manpower-wise. It just doesn't make sense. For a certain amount of time, yes, I get it. But, like, that's why you could play the GameCube on the Wii. Should we still be able to put GameCube discs in the Switch Successor? Like,
No way!
It's been a long time. Like, when are we going to let it go?
I let that go, because it's not HD. So I don't want to even see those anymore. Get them out of my face.
Well, they could be. If you're playing them on Switch's Successor, they would be upscaled.
I don't know how they'd be able to do that.
You don't need to know the know-how.
You're saying
that's
you can do it.
You just said you don't have a brain in your
No,
head.
it's just
that's easier
upscaled.
than putting an 8-bit game from the NES on the Switch. It doesn't make any sense.
You're conflating things that shouldn't be conflated.
True.
You're like you're just putting them, like, literally the system has a higher definition output. That's all that there is. So, like, playing a Wii game on the Wii looks worse than playing it on the Wii U, because the Wii U is an HD system. So it just looks better on the Wii U.
Could you dumb it down a shade?
That's all there is to it. The Wii U is 720p. The Wii is, what was it, 480? So that's it. It just looks better.
Here's what I want.
There's nothing going on behind the scenes.
Make the Super Nintendo Classic, but make an internet version, and then have that totally separate from whatever Switch 2 is going to be. And if I want to play old school games, I go on there and I buy them piecemeal from the internet. How about that?
That's just for Super Nintendo, you're saying?
Well, everything like pre like Wii, like, so GameCube pre. How about that?
All right, so
a little mini GameCube and it does all that.
Okay, that's certainly an option. Say every 15 years, Nintendo's like, and here's Nintendo Legacy, and it's the hardware that plays everything that came out in the last 15 years.
That'd be cool.
And you piecemeal it. You could certainly do that. And if you did it every 15 years, then it would minimize the amount of work you put into it, because then you're only dealing with 2 or 3 systems in that time frame, certainly. But you still would have to go through, like, you want all of Nintendo's first-party games or all games?
I don't know. You know, like
because Nintendo's first-party games, that would be much easier to do, because Nintendo doesn't have to get approval from anyone.
Yeah, I mean,
when it comes to
obviously, all
third-party,
games
those
would
are
be-
all new deals
yeah.
that have to be reworked in perpetuity.
Right.
In perpetuity, forever.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's
it's
difficult.
only feasible if you want first-party, and even then there'd be issues. It'd be like, Wave Race used to have
Plus I'd
realistic advertising in it that they had to take out for the re-release, and Smash Brothers would be a
Right.
whole new nightmare.
all that stuff. Yeah. What game was recently had like a Mickey Mouse thing in it that they had to take out? I forget what it was, but yeah, I don't know. Plus, I'd want Mike Tyson back in Punch Out and stuff like that. We're never getting that. So
No, you are.
I'll
1
just
million
go.
percent
I'll
not
just
getting it.
dream about it again.
So yeah, the idea of a legacy system every so many years is a great one, but there's hurdles to overcome, and you would probably be very limited. You're not going to get everybody's games.
Right.
Like maybe Konami and Sega and Capcom would play ball, but not everybody's going to play ball.
And it would probably cannibalize something of their other. It would probably.
Oh, well, they'd never do it because it's not going to be worth the time. You're not going to be like, here's the system, and we're going to let you piecemeal the games you want. So Nintendo would probably put out the system, and somebody's like, I want Sunshine and Urban Champion. So they're like, Nintendo's like, well, we made $100 on these people, and they're never going to spend money ever again because nothing new is ever going to come out for this
I
thing.
feel personally attacked with those 2 games. I think that was me in the example.
Now, if they did a legacy system, same exact thing, but subscription service, would you do that? $5 a month. let's
Yeah,
say.
I would do that too. That'd be cool.
So then they could, like, every month or so add in new stuff or take out and whatever. That they may be more likely to do, because then that way they don't have to have everything done right at the start. They could work new deals as the life of the system goes on.
But then you wouldn't have to even do the whole legacy system thing, because they do that right now on the Switch. I just would want the library to be bigger.
Well, yes, I mean, that is true, but Switch doesn't have GameCube.
I want the library
and
to
it
be
doesn't
bigger,
have Wii,
too.
yeah.
By library, I mean
Einhorn.
all the
Switch doesn't have
libraries.
GameCube.
Yeah, but then, like, that's the point. Then you say they do that when you go to the Switch Successor, you'd be like, I want all that stuff over here. Probably, right?
Well, we don't know, obviously, anything
No, I'm
about
saying
the
you
Successor.
would want it.
Yeah, but like,
so then that goes back to they should do a legacy system and then just eliminate all those complaints.
but don't you think they're gonna have like the Nintendo Online store or whatever they call it, the Game Boy games and the NES game? What is it?
Are they
called?
Switch Online?
Yeah, wouldn't Switch Online be on the new system? Why wouldn't they do that? Isn't it popular?
Virtual Console wasn't on Switch.
Yeah, but the Virtual Console was on Wii U.
Yeah.
Check and
So,
mate.
Okay, so this brings us back to the same problem just a couple years later. So Switch Successor comes out. So then by Nintendo's track record, it wouldn't have that stuff then.
Maybe not. Who knows what we'll be playing then? But
well, again, this is what I'm trying to do through this whole conversation is show why this is insane and people are insane for thinking it should just happen, because there's so many things people don't consider. Like, all these things have to be redone. Deals have to be redone. People have to be paid to make this stuff. It has to be constantly updated. Like, it's not as easy as just put it over. It's an old system. That's not how it works. Basically, what you're saying is, here's a problem that never has a solution, and you work on it forever. That's what you're saying when it comes to, not you, I'm saying people in general. That's what it is. It's like, here's something that will literally never end, and you always have to do it, and it always has to work. You can't do that. You can't do that. You have to have stopgaps.
Keep your old systems, people.
That's the easiest way. Keep your old systems. It's the
'Cause-
only way to guarantee whatever you buy for it will still be playable. Now, we can't guarantee servers will be live forever, so buy physical games when you can for those. But
yeah,
if you want a system that plays games in perpetuity, get the system those games came out for.
Otherwise, you'll be crying into your
That's the only
Mountain
way to
Dew Code
guarantee it.
Veronica.
That's the only way to guarantee it. And yes, I understand technology grows over time. I understand hooking up an NES nowadays isn't as easy as it used to be.
Well,
and
when
doesn't
you
look
have
as
your
good.
controllers labeled number 1 and number 2, it's much
And
easier.
remember, do not
I actually
get them
thought of
mixed up.
I thought of that because one of the dozen phone calls I made to my father was, I'm taking all the cabinets down. Do I have to put every single one back in the exact spot it came from? And he was like, yes, it's old. They're old. Like the kitchen's old. Like who knows what's going to be like glonky when you go to put it back together. So
Yeah.
I had to make like
Hi,
a
Rasusa.
schematic of like all the cabinets. And then I gave each cabinet a letter. And then I was like, but I'm sanding and painting them. So like I'm going to have to take the sticker, the letter sticker. It's a hot mess. And just if my mother was here,
My mother.
she probably would have
Cumulative
figured it out.
and Ice Dilbert have us down to a T. Cumulative says, keep your old systems was something I learned the moment I started buying my own games. And Ice Dilbert says, keep your old systems was something I learned after I sold some of my old systems. There you go. That's what it is. That's what it is. Always, I would argue, always keep the systems at the very least. Keep the systems. Yes, Tony De La Mancha, that was a point I was going to bring up earlier. When Deux first said this, you said they should have an internet-connected Super Nintendo Classic, blah, blah, blah. And my other suggestion was going to be, well, just pirate, because then you can have every game you want. Tony De La Mancha says, sail the deep blue sea, which is, yes, pirate.
Then
The piracy.
Lose the respect of the RMC.
You
the
won't
deep
lose my
RMC.
respect. I know I'm the weirdo here.
I mean, I'm a
You could have your Super Nintendo Classic with literally every Super Nintendo game that's ever existed. So
I'm a
people have
well-known
gone
pirate
through.
on the dark web.
People
here.
have gone through and made their like the cover art and all, like it looks just like it does with all the other
That's
stuff. So
Really cool. The sad thing is, I probably wouldn't appreciate it the same.
but yes, if you just don't care about anything legally, then pirate to your heart's content. You got a computer, there'll be an emulator, and you can play whatever you want for as long as you want. So there you go.
It's free.
It's free. That's right. It's free. No hangups.
What we
no
need
issues, it's
is
free.
we need you know how there's like public libraries? You might have heard of these. They have books and stuff. We'll have those, but with video games.
Great
in them.
news. You're in that time right now. Plenty of libraries rent out video games.
Oh,
And-
no. I mean like digitally, so I don't have to leave my house. and stuff.
Oh.
Which you can borrow digital books from your library.
Maybe.
So
I know. That's why I
Maybe
was
it's coming.
saying that.
for just a moment, everyone, remember when you pay your taxes, you are supporting your public library, and that is money well
Why are
spent.
you whispering here? You're so quiet. Talk
Sorry,
normal.
I'm
No
sorry.
NPR.
You're not in a library right now.
Speak
Man.
your message loudly and proudly. You love the library.
I effing
Love it.
love the library, and I have never met a librarian I don't like ever in my life.
I have in school. She was my librarian and she hated me.
Those don't count as librarians, or do they?
MomBrain.
do.
There you go. They do. So I have, you know what? As a matter of fact, I will say I've only met librarians that I hate. I can't think of one that I like at all.
Man,
It's 'cause
all
you
the
hate books.
librarians at
No,
my
no,
library are
no.
nice.
I don't have anything against books.
Uh-huh.
Wait a minute.
I don't have anything against books.
Okay.
Again, it's like you guys
Just the
aren't even my
peddlers of
friends. I
books.
personally have issues with books and how I read them, but I don't have anything against books. Why would I have anything against books?
Because they're too descriptive.
That's something I don't personally like about books. I don't have anything against books.
Well, listen, for
I think books are great.
the record, and I am not
Check them out.
apologizing for raw meat.
I mean, book it. How could I not like
Right.
Pizza Hut.
Right?
Uh,
The reason I don't like books is because they stopped giving you the pizza with them.
often public education really screws up when it comes to teaching children to be lifelong readers, because we often make it a chore or like an assignment.
Yeah, you take a
and-
hobby that's supposed to be fun and you tell somebody
Yeah.
what to read.
yeah, and like, you know, what you want children, what I want people to know is that there's really no greater gift you can be given than
Word.
the ability to read, because you can then do anything, right? You can
How about being
learn
double
anything.
jointed? That's
you
pretty
can,
cool.
And
Yeah,
we
I might
like
go with that instead.
we ruin it by being like, hey, you must read what I tell you to read,
And
and
write
you
a
must
book
read
report
this
on
much.
it.
And
Yeah.
right, we make it into this like there are other wonderful ways to learn and consume knowledge.
Yeah, like the book fair, when you go buy the books you want, and then the person at the book fair tells you you shouldn't buy these. Oh, I'm sorry. Is that just me?
Yeah, no one
Every time I went, not every time, good amount of
ever
times
said
I went.
that at the book fair to me.
For
Well-
me, you know why? Because what did I buy? I bought the Magic Eye books. I bought the
Oh, those
Hidden
are
Picture
cool.
books. I bought Waldo books. I
Those are
bought the
great.
tips and tricks for video game players. Not every time. I should stop saying it. A good amount of times when I bought it, they were like, "Are you sure you want to buy this? Or this isn't really
You're
a
like, my
book.
mom sent
Well,
me with
this
money.
is-
I'm
Yeah,
buying
most of
what I
those don't
want."
have like actual words. in
Don't
them.
you play video games? So why do you want to read?" Every time I went.
Which
Not every time. I keep saying that. I'm
Which-
sorry.
burns my ass so bad because reading is reading. Like that's the thing is like
Right.
even
A little
even-
encouragement would have gone a long way in that instance.
right? Like, do you care about the fact that I'm reading and like expanding my knowledge, or do you care about like selecting
They didn't
and
know
curating the content that
a
I
young
consume?
RMC was reading highlights before he went to bed, reading about
Right.
Goofus and Gallant. And
I don't care.
they didn't know he was reading Boys Life magazine to read about the future of flying cars and Boy Scouts. Why was I reading Boy Scout stuff? I didn't want to be a Boy Scout.
Where are you
but
even getting that?
from Lube and JTS.
Oh.
When they were done reading them, they were getting rid of them. And I'm like, I'll take them because, none of it was really about Boy Scout stuff. It was like technology and people, and I don't know, it was interesting.
I have never in my life, not once, been to a bookstore with my mother or any of my grandparents and been denied anything I ever put.
Oh, I
like,
haven't been
picked up.
denied, but I was lambasted.
Like, whatever you want, we're buying it. Here, have a book. Like, I can remember being like in, I don't know, like high school and like not doing well in school, and my grandmother being like, "We can find you a book that will make this better." Like, just going to
Here's
the
the book.
bookstore, like,
So you're a failure.
yeah, yeah.
Dealing with failure. All right, North America. What do we got this week? Let me tell you. Coming August 17th, Red Dead Redemption, $50. Moving out to
That's too much.
A Castle Full of Cats. Ooh. Acceptance. Ace Anti-Gravity Combat Racing.
Meow.
Airy Flow of Time. Anthology of Fear. Arcade Archives Baraduke 2. Astro Flames Starfighter. Ballmaster Up. No idea what that means. Black Skylands. Bright Lights of Svetlov. Chickenoids Super Party. Chrome Wolf. Cinderella Interactive Book. Cooking Arena. Creepy Tale Ingrid Penance. Death Becomes You. Detective Agency Grey Tide 2 Collector's Edition. Die After Sunset. Drakneck and Friends Puzzle Bundle. Ellipse. Farm Frenzy Refreshed. Female Nation Takeover. Hamster on Rails. Idle Zoo Park. It's Puzzles. Wild Nature. Marble It Up Ultra. Look into that one too. For real. Mondeely. Monster Prom 3. Monster Road Trip XXL. Mooley's Dreamland. Moolii. Do not shoot the messenger on that one. Mousetrap, the board game. I played Mousetrap once because it took so damn long to set up. And then when the trap drops, you're like, I'm not doing this again. Are you kidding me? Let the mouse go free.
And that's like the most fun part of the game.
You
too.
are the mouse. You don't want to be caught.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. He missed the trap got somebody, or the trap missed him. You're like, okay, just let him go. We don't want to torture these poor mice. Mysterious Adventure of Michael. That's great.
I love
Neon
that guy.
Blight. Oregon Trail Complete Edition. Again, that's Oregon Trail. Pipe Dream. Prison Life Simulator Jail. Gangster Escape Games. Scary Architect Battle. Pups and Purrs Pet Shop. Puzzle Boys. Quantum Recharged. Rainbow Skies. Shinobi Non Grata. Slime Girl Smoothies. Sonar Beat. Stray Gods, the role-playing musical. Summer Valley Hike. Sven, Completely Screwed. The Rewinder. Tow Truck Driver Simulator 2023. Ultimate General Gettysburg. Coming on August 17th is Vampire Survivors. Remember, with the 4-player co-op update. Wash Simulator, Clean Garage, House Cars, Business Tycoons. Wild Legion, Witch's Garden, World Spin, X-Force Under Attack, and finally, Zombie Soup. There you go. I'm sure it's going to be long, but do you mind?
Not at all.
Thank you. Josh?
What are the
please, thank
next
you.
European masterpieces? Let's find out with Nikki's sweet releases.
It's time for the European Switch eShop releases for the week of August 10th, the year of our Lord 2023. This is Do Michaels filling in for Nikki Hill. Nikki Hill, we speak your name. 100 Doors, Escape from School. Acceptance. Ace Anti-Gravity Combat Racing. Anthology of Fear. Ballmaster Up. Bokura. Chickenoids, Super Party. Cinderella Interactive Book. Cooking Arena. Detective Agency Grey Tie 2 Collector's Edition. Farm Frenzy Refreshed. Female Nation Takeover. Fluffy Milo. Funny Jokes. Idle Zoo Park. It's Puzzles Wild Nature. Legend Bowl. Mondili. Monster Prom 3 Monster Road Trip XXL. Mousetrap the Board Game. Spelled B-O-R-E-D.
Oh.
Mysterious Adventure of Michael. Neon Blight. Oregon Trail Complete Edition. That's not a typo?
That is correct.
Oregon Trail. Pipe Dream. Puzzle Boys. Running Fable. Oh, there's a new Fable game out. Well, after that one Fable where you're in the cart the whole time, I wouldn't be surprised if they put out a running
I
Fable.
Forgot about that.
Know what I mean? I don't know anything about that cart Fable, by the way, but Skamba Snowfall. Slime Girl Smoothies. Sonar Beat. Stray Gods. The role-playing musical. The Rewinder. Ultimate General Gettysburg. Unidentified Falling Objects. Vostok 2061. Wash Simulator. Wild Legion. Witch's Garden. World Spin. X-Force Under Attack. And last but not least, Zombie Soup.
Thank you, Do. And William George in chat reminded us that there was a surprise release this week. Quake 2 got a surprise remake remaster. I don't even know what you want to call it. But yes, Quake 2 is out now on Switch and all platforms. I think it's 10.
Oh,
and it includes all the content from Quake 2 64 as well.
Wow.
So it's the original Quake 2, lots of quality of life improvements, motion controls if you want those too, plus all the content that was in Quake 64 too, which was brand new single player and multiplayer levels. So
did you ever play any of the Quake games?
I played the first Quake, not the second, but I only played it a little bit on my uncle's computer. I didn't have a computer to play it on at the time. So I would very much like to play this. Yeah, because I was Doom, obviously, and I played all the Dooms, but I didn't play Quake really outside of the first one a tiny bit. So I'm down very much. I've always wanted to see what Quake's all about. So yeah, I'm going to check it out. And the price, $10. You can't beat it. Come on.
What if it was $50?
I would still be interested. I don't know if I'd buy it right away, but I wouldn't be
For
like $50. Get out of here. I'd be like, I'll play it when I got an opening. Oh, but yeah, good on them. Cumulative says excellent, and FPS is unplayable if they don't have motion aiming. I don't know about unplayable, but I do like motion aiming in my FPS games as well.
I don't know about Quake, but isn't Quake similar to Doom where you don't really aim up and down? It does that.
Quake, you do, because Quake's polygonal.
Oh, cool.
Doom was faking it. Quake was the real deal.
Oh, that's fancy.
Yeah, it was the next evolution, the next big thing. Thank you again for that, Do. I appreciate it. Very quickly, I will mention that there's going to be Pokemon Scarlet and Violet news, as well as Pokemon trading card game news at the 2023 Pokemon World Championships closing ceremony. So that is on Sunday. Whatever news they have, I will bring to you. August 13th, when the tournament or when the championships are over, some sort of surprise information, whatever it is, we'll have it for you. Don't worry. And then finally, this is something else I really want to talk about because I wanted to get your opinion. As I just mentioned, the 2023 Pokemon World Championships are taking place. People battle it out in Pokemon Go, the Pokemon trading card game, and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. We are particularly talking about Scarlet and Violet here. So what players do is they play Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. They catch Pokemon in the game. They level them up. They give them the moves that they want. Maybe you trade Pokemon with some other players to get a Pokemon that you want, whatever. You make your team. Then you take your team to the tournaments and you play. And if you're good enough, you get to the World Championships and you fight for money and prestige and trophies and all that stuff.
The world.
So here's what happened. People went to the World Championships and Pokemon Company disqualified a lot of players. They said, nope, not allowed to play. Why? Because they said their Pokemon were obtained illegally.
How's that?
So there are tools that players can use that are not officially sanctioned or created by Pokemon Company that allow you to
What rules, you sons of bitches?
get the Pokemon you want with the stats you want. Now, they do not have stats above what is possible in the game. So all of these Pokemon that are created using this tool are achievable in the main game. So you can get them just by playing or by trading with other players. Just some trainers are like, I don't want to spend all that time. So they just use the tool to make the Pokemon that they want. Again, the Pokemon themselves do not have any attributes that are illegal. They are just obtained in a way that is removed from actual gameplay. Pokemon Company says that is not allowed. You are out. Some of those Pokemon trainer pros are saying this is ridiculous. Pokemon Company says that is not allowed. You are out. Some of those Pokemon trainer pros are saying this is ridiculous. Your thoughts, everybody?
So they cheated if they have them. If they have these Pokemon.
Well,
or they
this is why we're having this conversation.
I mean, I think if you're going to be in a competition, that shouldn't be allowed. I think that they were right to disqualify people because, but I would say that they took a shortcut.
They took a shortcut, certainly.
I guess you could say they cheated.
Did they cheat? That's the question.
Because you could, if you wanted to spend the time, they like outsourced and took a shortcut.
Yes.
I don't think it's right.
They expedited the process with third-party tools.
But it's not like they made these.
The outcome wasn't something that is illegal.
Right.
Like,
again, I would be very
legit
disappointed.
Pokemon, legit stats, all that stuff. It's just how they obtained it. That is not the intended way.
Yeah, and
so
there are people who I'm competing against people who did put in that time.
Yeah,
I'm going to be
if it's for competition, then that's one thing.
So you are saying they cheated
for the competition's purposes. I would say that seems to be the case.
Yeah, I mean it's a competition. I'm sure they've made these rules pretty clear to people.
Well, that's the other thing. Like Pokemon Company certainly has its rules. But how they enforce the rules can vary sometimes. So Pokemon Company's like, don't pirate games, don't use third-party tools, all that stuff. But like usually it pertains to other aspects of gameplay, and Pokemon Company it's their tournament. They can choose when and where to enforce the specifics of the rules. And at the Pokemon World Championships, they have said, we're not letting you in if you've done this. So those people may have played in a tournament before where the rules were a little more lax because you're just working your way up through the ranks. But
I could liken it to steroids or like using performance enhancing drugs.
Some players are saying this is wrong. We should be allowed to play. Other players are saying if this isn't going to be allowed, it needs to be more clearly said by the Pokemon Company before the tournament happens.
I would agree with that.
But the other thing is no one is under the impression that Pokemon Company would allow this. Like,
well, that's my other question is like, were they in good faith doing this and really surprised? Like, oh, I didn't, the intention behind it too is kind of.
Yeah.
Blood Ocean put pictures of their dogs and they're real cute.
Cumulative says, yeah, kick them if they're going to be that lazy that they need to make it even easier. It takes hours and they literally did nothing wrong. Even if it only took seconds, it doesn't matter, says Tentavision. Doesn't mean they should be disqualified after buying tickets to fly to and from another continent, taking off work, only to be told to F off. This is the argument that's going on right now. And I mean,
they
you all
shouldn't be
know
that
what
rude
side
when they
I'm on. I don't
disqualify
need to, obviously I'm with Pokemon Company on this one. I don't want anybody in a tournament who's, you know who I want in the tournament? The people who are playing legitimately. If you want to do that in your free time, I don't care at all. Do whatever you want. But no, you play with the, call me a weirdo, but Pokemon training in the video game story and in real life take a similar path. You're the Pokemon trainer. You put in the work to grow your Pokemon, to battle, to get better, to be the best there ever was. And you know who would use this stuff? Gary. Gary would use it. That's who would use it. Gary would be like, I'm sitting at home. I'm gonna pay somebody else to do this for me or whatever, and then I'll just take him to the tournament. Don't be a Gary. Be an Ash. Ash would never do this, and he wouldn't do it. But that's me. Obviously, it's no surprise how I feel about this, but I can take myself out of the conversation and recognize it is an interesting one because it's not so much as someone's playing with a Pokemon that's doing things that are impossible for Pokemon to do. It's someone saying, I don't want to spend 8 hours doing whatever. I'll just build it online and plop it in my game.
But I think that undermines the spirit of competition.
I do as well. Yes. So, yes, the internet is very hotly debating this right now. So, I can tell you one thing: Pokemon Company's not going to change their stance. If anything, they'll get stricter. But that's where it is now. So it's certainly an interesting conversation to have. Hawk says, I don't know what these players are expecting. If you take a shortcut instead of going through the hard work others did, why would you expect anything less than disqualification? I agree.
And if it was really that high stakes of a situation for you, and I feel like part of participating is knowing the rules, right? Like I've trained for like big half marathons, right? And you like do everything you can to make sure that you understand the rules so that you don't get disqualified and like have your hopes and dreams dashed and all the hard work you did like at the last minute. So
yes.
Like if I'm going to really be part of a competition that it sounds like people are traveling really far for and whatnot, then I'm going to make sure I know the rules.
And that's the other thing, like I was saying, some people are saying if this is the case, then Pokemon Company needs to be very full-throated in this. It needs to be out there and be like, this is the situation. This is not allowed, because there have been tournaments in the past where I'm sure it wasn't allowed, but Pokemon Company wasn't paying as close attention or whatever. So
there's like past precedent.
Really what I think it is people just don't want to put in the work. Like,
sure,
if you're a Pokemon pro, Pokemon Company isn't going to like this. There's no way. If you're going to feign ignorance here, I'm not buying it, because you don't become a Pokemon professional player and not have any inkling that Pokemon Company might not like that you're using unapproved, unlicensed third-party apps to get this done. Like, that's silly. You're a Pokemon fan. You know how Pokemon Company is. But there would be nothing wrong with Pokemon Company being like, listen, this is not allowed. We know you guys know this wasn't allowed to begin with, but apparently we need to make it very clear. So this is not allowed. It doesn't hurt to be very loud and aggressive and in your face with explaining the rules, because then people have even less wiggle room for the argument that's happening right now. So we'll see what happens at the next
What
tournament.
rules, you sons of bitches?
But that's where it stands now. So again, the debate rages on. And that's it. That's the top stories.
Woo.
MomBrain.
Yeah.
I think you got some talking to do.
I do.
Oh.
Did you play something?
I did.
Nice.
I've been playing Pikmin. Dandori. That's Pikmin 4, yes. That's how my kitchen project is going so well, because I am mastering the art of Dandori. That's not true.
She's enlisted Pikmin to get the work done.
That's right.
Oh, nice.
Yep, they're out there right now. Yep. I'm really, really enjoying the game. It's soothing and lovely and peaceful, but also very engaging. It's not like, so soothing that you're just like bored or like falling asleep. There's no stress. Like it's just delightful. Ochi is so great, especially from the rear view. Ochi's little like rump bouncing around is so cute. I love it. I think I'm on like day 14, which I know doesn't really mean anything because everybody moves at their own pace. I 99%ed the first area, which was the best I could do considering the limitations I have at the moment.
You need more Pikmin to get the thing you left behind.
Yep. The names of the things are great. I believe I dug up a potato that was called an Earth Child. It's just been great. I'm really, really enjoying it. And I think if you know somebody who is thinking about jumping into playing video games, this would be an excellent game for them to play because it's like all of the loveliest things video gaming has to offer. And I think it would be a really great experience for somebody.
Flowers, cute animals, slave labor. It's got it all.
Death.
I mean, listen, they're learning very important life skills.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I've heard this argument recently.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that all you have to say on Pikmin?
Yep.
Kirby, what have you been playing?
Nothing.
Okay, excellent.
I apologize again.
What have you been playing?
I got a really long list of stuff.
Oh!
So I played a little Fortnite with the boys this week. I played a little bit of the Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons. I made it through the first dungeon, and I've got the wand that changes the season to winter, so I can push forward. Having a little bit of trouble staying motivated with it. I played it at the beginning of the week and haven't gone back to it yet, so got to get back to it. But I've been playing some Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster. Nice. It's pretty great as far as like all the quality of life things that have been added in. They really worked hard to kind of preserve its original state, but improving on almost everything.
Dude, this is a scathing review.
Oh, no. I just I don't know. I'm really impressed with how much work they put into it. Like all the you can keep all the original music if you want, or you can have the reorchestrated with like, and it's all done by Nobuo Uematsu, like all the arrangements, I guess. And like, it sounds amazing. The music's great. This is a game that I've never beaten. I've probably played it halfway through like twice before, and I can't tell you why I stopped. Maybe this time when I stop, I'll be able to tell you. But but like, yeah, I'm playing that quite a bit, and it's been really fun. Any questions about the Pixel Remaster at all? Like any changes? It's okay if you don't.
I don't, because I know all about them, and I'm not going to use them, so I don't have any. But I know people really appreciate all that stuff that they've done as far as the quality of life and enhancements and little features and additions. So yeah, I think that's great that stuff's in there, because I know some people would never play these games without that stuff in there. So yeah, put it in. That's great. Anything that makes somebody that eases people into an experience more is fine by me.
So yeah, I'm gonna keep it that and see how we do. It's a a lot of people love this game, and I like what I've played of it a lot, and I really like the story a lot, but like some of the dialogue did not age that well. And I know that's the same way with all those Final Fantasy games, but I feel like for as cheesy as some of the dialogue is in Final Fantasy VII, I think a lot of it is better than 6, but that's just a personal thing. Moving on. Broforce Forever. I downloaded,
yeah, it finally came.
Downloaded the final update for Broforce Forever. if you haven't played Broforce, man, it's so much fun. It's just the best. It's a lot of laughs. The gameplay is excellent. So well done. In this free update, we got a whole bunch of new bros. So there's like a Buffy the Vampire Slayer bro and a Xena Warrior Princess and the John Spartan from Demolition Man, and for some reason the character from the movie The Fly is in it. So you can
Seth Brundle?
Yes.
Oh,
Seth Brundle, because it's
nice.
gross.
That's very clever.
Yeah. So I knew you'd know the name because I don't know the name. So I'm glad. Oh, and Bert from Tremors is in there too, which is ridiculous.
Oh.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Hell
Like,
yes.
Wow.
it's so silly, and like they've reworked some of the levels, which is interesting. They've added some new challenge levels and some new regular levels, and they've added some new kind of like power-ups to grab with your bros. The mariachi too, from Machete, not from Machete, from Desperado is in it, and his special move, all the special moves are amazing, and his special move's great. You press it, and like two like mariachis come and start playing, and all the bad guys dance, and then they while the bad guys are dancing, then the guys pull out machine guns. It's awesome. So there's stuff like that. There was a whole bunch. I wish I wrote it down because there's a whole bunch of really funny little nods to each, because each character has their own like special move, and it's usually related to the actual character it's based on, and usually sometimes it's like really clever and funny, but I can't for the life of me think of any right now. But yeah, Broforce Forever is awesome. And last but not least, you'll never guess. Should we play again? No, you'll never guess.
I love guessing.
You'll never guess what I played. You'll never guess. I mean, I'll give you hints if you ask little questions, maybe. Or
we're starting off really, really vague. So is it just it's on the Switch?
It's not.
Okay, so it's on the PS5.
Yeah.
All right. Is it new or old?
It's not. It's not brand new. It's probably a couple years old.
Couple years old. Okay. By the way, I went to look this up since you're trumpeting Broforce so much. Until August 21st, you can get the game 80% off. So it's $3.
I'm telling you.
Whoa.
That
and again,
is an amazing deal.
this is a free update for Broforce. So you'll get Broforce base game for $3 and the Forever update for free.
That is an incredible deal. There's so much content in this game. There's so many bros. There's like 50 bros. There's might be more than that. Like there's so
That's why
awesome.
That's why I looked at
all the bros you can handle.
I figured they would do a big sale alongside this update, and they did. Okay. So it's on PS5. It's a couple years old. I'll never guess. Is it something you've played already? It's
not like a Ratchet and Clank, is it? Okay.
Nope.
It's a great guess because he would never play that. It's a really great guess.
That's all I got.
Haven't played it before. That's the one for me, man.
But it's in a series. It's in a series. It's not a standalone.
Is it the second one?
No.
Oh.
It's the. It's technically the fifth. It's technically the sixth. I think. It's the sixth of a spin-off of a main. How about that?
Now I'm even more confused.
I'm trying to confuse you.
The sixth of a spin-off of a main? So there's the main franchise, and there's a spin-off franchise, and this is the sixth of the spin-off franchise.
I'm pretty sure.
The sixth seems like you would think of what that is right away because there's six of a spin-off.
I'll let you go a little longer. I've got a hint that'll help, but I'll use it at the end.
So what's a franchise that has a spin-off that is very popular too? I mean,
you're definitely overthinking it too.
Is there like a Marvel situation?
Nope.
Is this on Switch? I know you said you're playing PS5. It's not on Switch.
It's not.
Okay, so it's the sixth of a spin-off series.
I wonder if anyone in the chat is. We've got some pretty sophisticated chat people. They probably wouldn't play this game.
Why did you pick it? It's the 6th one. Why?
Because
Free?
it was free last month on the PSN store. As like the
Assassin's Creed?
no, something I would.
Yeah, I don't know. Go ahead. I'll take one
How
more
about this?
big hint.
Josh likes it.
Call of Duty? I was going to guess Call of Duty, but I was like, no.
Call of Duty, Black
Call of Duty,
Ops,
bro.
Black Ops.
Cold War.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
So,
Why?
Did
Just
you
because it
know
was
you can win
free?
money just
No,
for
You
I
playing
download
wanted-
so many things that are like,
$5,000 is on the
It's
line
not
tonight
Tetris,
in
Josh.
10 with prime
you
time.
download so many things that are all part of the PSN, whatever, and you never touch them.
Yeah.
And then Call of Duty, you're like, yes.
and I downloaded it last month too. I had no intention of playing it, and by downloaded I mean like just got it for free, like
Yeah.
put it in the library. I didn't actually download it, but then I don't know. I wanted to shoot something. I wanted to shoot and kill something, and I was like feeling very American. So I was like, let me download this. No, I really don't know what it was. Like I wanted.
July. Yeah,
I wanted.
American.
I wanted. It sounds stupid, but I wanted like a mindless experience of just like, just some action. And so I downloaded this game and I started playing it, and it's not bad. Like, here's the thing: I haven't played any since Modern Warfare 2, and by then I was already bored. I was already like, they did it, and it's it's just the same crap, And this certainly is the same stuff, and and again, I've missed maybe 10 games in between. So like,
I don't think you're missing much.
right. But like I guess what I'm trying to say is they've perfected like the first person like play style. Like maybe they did that back in 2. I remember it being pretty good then, but like I was immediately able to jump in, play the game. I knew all the buttons without anything. Like, so all that stuff's already still there. But I mean, you'd expect them to have that part of it, right? The story, not great, as you'd expect. But it was like it was like different. It felt different than the other previous Call of Duty games, where this one was a little tonally a little bit more over the top and like action. And I don't want to say goofy, but I want to say there was a little tongue-in-cheekness to how over the top it was, which I appreciated. The problem is you jump into it thinking it's going to be this serious thing. So like I was all over the place tonally, trying to like wrap my head around what they were trying to do with this story. Like, was I supposed to laugh? Was this supposed to be ironic? Is this supposed to be a joke, or is this real? And like, why? And some of the dialogue, it wasn't all that compelling to listen to. I feel like even the actors thought they were in some sort of goofy thing. Like they were like really doing it up, and it was like, good Lord, just like if we got some good actors in here, this might be like an interesting storyline. But yeah, like I don't know. The one thing I have to say is it did one thing in it that I would want to see more of, and I was kind of hoping it would go in that direction. But then the game just ended. It's very short, which actually is good for me. But like, there was one mission, because like there's your action mission, and then there's a mission where you're piloting a helicopter, which makes no sense and it takes you out of it, and that's annoying. But then you get to this mission where you're this sleeper agent in the Russian Kremlin, and you've got to go do all these different tasks for the Americans that you're working for, and it's all on your map, and like you can do it in any order you want, and like certain things you can't do without like getting like a form from this guy, or stealing a key from this guy, or interrogating this prisoner after you find the file on his family or stuff. So like you're doing all this stuff, and it was like really cool. I was like, this spy game is awesome. It was really, really interesting and fun, and it was like the detail was really well done, and like it was kind of, there was something, I don't want to say it wasn't exactly heart pounding, but there was something very engaging about that versus the jump off the helicopter and blow people up, like, and you don't even know why you're doing it. And like, this was like, there was a purpose, and I was like, this is awesome. And then you get all the way to like the basement or whatever, because you got to let the American like squad in. And like, once you get down there, the camera like zips around you, and then you're playing as the squad member, and then you go back through doing the exact same thing you did, except now you can shoot everybody. So like that was really, really cool. And then there was the mission after that was the final mission, which I didn't realize it was the final mission, and it had all this. It was like finally revealing the story, and there was all this hallucinogenic, and it wasn't like, you know, because you've seen hallucinogenic scenes in games before and they're so like tropey. Like it wasn't like that. It was like actually really, really cool. And like all this stuff was happening and you don't know if it's real or if it's not. And then yeah, I don't know. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody who might play it, but like there were glimpses there where I was like, they would never find success doing it. But like if they could make a game that was all missions like that, it would be really like engrossing. I was kind of into that, but like I said, it ends right after that, and the rest of the experience was kind of like so run of the mill that, you know, there's no, I wouldn't say buy it, but like I had
the alarms are going off at Activision. They're like, oh my god, someone played a single player campaign in one of our Call of Duty games.
Well, what was funny is after I played the campaign, there were like things, actually there were a couple side missions. What was cool is there's evidence in each level, and if you find all the evidence, you can do the side missions, because the side missions are no good if you don't know what the evidence points to, which was actually really cool. So like it had like 7 people and you had to choose 3 to like kill, but you didn't know who to choose unless you got all the evidence. So it was like cool things like that. It was like kind of interesting. But like what was funny is I did the whole campaign, and I was like, maybe I'll give it another try now that I know what I'm doing and there's evidence and stuff. I never did, but like I was thinking that, and the game popped up a thing, and it was like, you did the campaign, you can free up 59 gigs of space if you delete it right now. And I was like, what? Why would I? The game is telling me to delete itself? Like,
it's the single player is the window dressing that never gets played. People are playing it for the multiplayer.
Yeah, I'm surprised they even like include. Like, do they still include single player?
They do. That's why they're so short, because the developers are like, the developers must hate their lives, because they're like, we're working on a whole game that hardly anyone is going to play. Like, no one is buying Call of Duty to play the single player stuff. So, but someone's out there.
Yeah, I mean,
so you got your pre-order in for the next Call of Duty, or
no? But like, I was, you know, I didn't hate it. I played the whole thing. Again, it was short, but like I said, if they could focus more or do a game with that kind of spy kind of stuff, that was really cool. That was really kind of cool.
Well, I don't think it's going to happen.
Oh, it's not, but
it's certainly interesting. I would have never, ever, you're right, guessed that you would play a Call of Duty game. Just
it'd been a long time.
But I've seen everything.
And I liked Modern Warfare, you know, the first one. I had fun playing that, but it was new back then. You know,
I bought a couple of them just because they were so popular, and they really weren't my kind of thing. The only one I liked, of course, is the one I only played single player in with Kevin Spacey, and I really enjoyed that one. But that was it. I bought that to play the single player, and then I didn't go online. Like, that's the reason I bought that.
I played it for Kevin Spacey.
Yep. So,
well, they're not bringing him back for some reason.
Next week, I can't wait to hear about you and Madden, how you're enjoying Madden.
Oh my God! Well, thanks for listening to that. I know it's not the most exciting video game talk, and thanks for playing my guessing game too. I had fun keeping you dangling.
I'm a game show fan. I love guessing games. I'm all about it. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. What have you played this week?
Thank you for asking. I played more Fortnite, as Deux said. We had some fun there. We got somebody new in the mix, and they're having a good time. So, good stuff. I also played more Pikmin 4, but I don't really have anything to say about it just because I'm 100%ing stuff. There is an enemy I want to talk about, but I don't want to spoil it for MomBrain. No.
Did you not get to him yet?
No.
Never mind.
It's this one particular enemy that is only, as far as I know, underground. And when that happened, I was like, "Oh no!"
It wasn't Pikmin anymore for me. That was a horror game.
It's that's a nightmare. So there's that. But yeah, I played that, and then I'm done because the only other thing I'm playing, I am not allowed to talk about. I can tell you what it is though. I'm playing one of my most anticipated games in the whole year. Sea of Stars. I'll have the review of Sea of Stars when the embargo lifts. That's from Sabotage who did The Messenger. It's that I believe crowdfunded old school RPG that they've been working on with inspirations from Chrono Trigger, and it's got a battle system that's very akin to let's say a little bit of Chrono Trigger and a lot of the Mario and Luigi series. So action, it's still turn-based combat, but if you hit a button when you land an attack, you can get a bonus attack. Or if an enemy attacks you, you can hit a button and deflect some of the damage. But yes, I can't talk. That's all in a demo. I didn't share anything that's in the game, but I am playing that, and I'm not allowed to talk about it. So
that's on the Switch, I'd imagine.
That's that. It's on everything, but it will be on Switch. Yeah.
But that's not where you're playing it, or
I'm playing it on PC because they didn't have any console codes yet. They offered me PC code, and I said yeah. But yes, it'll be on everything. I believe it debuts on both Xbox Live, or why can't I think of it anyway? Game Pass and the PlayStation version.
Oh, okay.
Whatever that's called. So you should be able day one to not pay anything extra and play it.
Is it a good-looking game? Is it pretty?
I don't know.
It sounds pretty. Oh, you're not allowed to talk about it.
No, what do you think it looked like?
I think it looks like, in my head, I think it looks like 2D, 3D pixel art.
It's just 2D, but it is pixel art. But it's actually not really pixel art. Everything's done polygonal to look like pixel art, but you wouldn't know that. It looks like a Super Nintendo game or something like that. Or it looks more like a 32-bit era pixel game. But everything has like realistic shadows and lighting, which is actually really cool. It's not something I've seen in a sprite game before, because there's somebody just drawing this stuff before. But yes, as far as how it looks, I'm commenting on the demo. Gorgeous. Like, it's one of the nicest pixel art games I've ever seen. It's absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, go play it. There's a free demo on Xbox and on Switch. I played the free demo on Switch and loved it. And I was like, I can't wait for this game to come out. Now I'm playing the final version for review. You'll have my thoughts when the embargo lifts, and I cannot tell you when that is, but it's a while. So that's it. All right, let's do questions. Send your questions to goninpod@gmail.com.
Where?
GoNinpod@gmail.com. They can be about Nintendo video games in general, or whatever the hell you want. Zikamuto asks a pot-stirring question around remakes. Which do you prefer to watch? The original 1978 Lord of the Rings film or Peter Jackson's 2001 remake?
Oh, this isn't a fair comparison at all.
They say, but more serious after that. But I'd love to hear.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty funny. I just, before I give my answer, I was on Instagram, and someone had a post about the Ralph Bakshi 1978 Lord of the Rings film, and it was like, whenever you think that you're like underqualified for your job, just remember that the actor who was rotoscoped in the 1978 Lord of the Rings film, who played Aragorn, tripped over his own sword, and they left it in the movie.
Yes, I love that clip. That's so great.
It's so good.
But yeah, I just saw that last night for the first time.
That fact you're saying?
Oh yeah, no,
okay.
I did watch the movie like maybe a couple of years ago for the first time.
So you guys are Lord of the Rings fans. What one do you like better?
Well, the thing is, and the reason I say it's not fair is because like that's 1978 film only covers the events of like the first. Is it even the first two books? And like they weren't.
It's a simple question, Kirby. Which do you prefer?
Obviously I prefer the Peter Jackson films because there's an ending. That's why.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, there you go. They say, but on a more serious note, what distinguishes this from a remake such as Resident Evil 2? There's about the same time between the original and new. It's the same story, plot, and theme. Both are built from the ground up with different visions. Where would you say the line between a simple remaster port and remake would be? And where do you think it would start to be milking a franchise? Okay, so first things first, Resident Evil 2's story is very different in the remake than it is the original, I would say.
Yeah, they change enough.
Can I also add in the fact that like Lord of the Rings has a book that is source material?
Well, yes, but Resident Evil 2 is the source material for Resident Evil 2 remake.
Right, but when it comes to a book, it's open to interpretation. a whole lot more because there's no actual
They
concrete.
describe everything so much.
Right. Whereas in a video game, like you already have seen the intended,
Yes.
the author's
I get what you're
intended,
saying. You can see, you're seeing literally their vision, like how they intended things to look.
Yeah.
And yes, I get it. But yes, I would argue the two Resident Evil games are very different. What's the difference between a remaster and a remake? A remaster takes what was in the game already and cleans it up. So higher res visuals, clean up some texture work, maybe higher quality versions of the same textures or maybe a new texture altogether.
And then a remake is when they do everything from the ground up.
Yeah, remake is ground up.
Okay.
And plus more open to, different takes on the source material or the original game. That's how I see it anyway.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And that's where you get the story changes. That's where you're going to get big story changes if you do.
Like Metroid Prime is a remaster because, yes, the visuals were completely overhauled and there's some quality of life features in there, but the game is the same. It's the same bones there.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. And that's my scathing hatred for remakes
And books.
We also have a Patreon question. MomBrain, did you know that you could join the Patreon
For $1.
for $1? Firecrackers did. Thank you, Firecrackers. They ask, decades from now, your frail bodies wither. You finally saved up enough Nintendo Platinum points to gain access to the Nintendo nursing home. As you move in, you're surprised to find that the staff is made entirely of Animal Crossing inhabitants. Which animal villager do you choose to be your nurse? I mean, it's got to be Isabel, right?
Isabel.
Is she
She's
a
the
villager
best.
though?
Does she live in the village of Animal Crossing?
don't know.
Yes, she. What do you mean?
She works there.
Does she commute?
Where? It's an island. Where's she going? What's his face isn't there all the time. She lives there.
Who knows?
Yeah, it's got to be Isabel. She's the best.
One of the sheep.
Tough commute otherwise.
Really
I'd
tough.
pick one of the sheep.
One of the sheep.
The Able sisters? Why? They cut hair. They make dresses.
But I feel like they'd be really good at.
You get
taking care
haircuts
of
in a
you.
hospital.
You think they take good care of you?
Yeah.
How about no? You know who would take good care of you and would be good?
Dr.
Walt.
Mario.
Blathers.
Oh, for sure.
He'd bring a nice cup of tea or coffee to your bedside. He'd sit there with you.
Rolf.
What if you get
Don't you have a
bugs?
Rolf?
Or no, I'm sorry, not Blathers. You know who I mean. The guy that's giving you his own tit milk.
Ew.
Oh, the pigeon.
Yeah, the pigeon, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
I think he'd be good. But Blathers would be good too. Blathers is nice. He'd tell you nice, boring stories to fall asleep to.
You can write a book.
KK Slider. He could play his sweet songs.
I think
to-
he'd
He could
big
play you
time
out.
you. I think he'd big time you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll come perform for you on your deathbed, but it's going to take 20,000 bells or something like that. Yeah, I don't know.
Man, what a jerk.
He's very popular. He's too busy. I don't think he'd be able to give you the care that you need. I'm trying to think of other reoccurring characters in Animal Crossing.
Villager.
You know the one.
No, they're a freak.
I've never played any Animal Crossings. I always wanted
Tortimer's
to
too
play the
old.
Switch one.
Tortimer's way too old. Is he even around anymore? I guess he's not. You know what? I think Mr. Rossetti would do a good job. He'd be a real bitch about it the whole time, but he'd do a really good job. Lots of yelling, but tough love for Mr. Rossetti. I think
Well, is that what you want when you're like recovering in a hospital? Someone yelling at you?
someone who does their job really, really well and you can depend on them, but a bad bedside manner, I'll take it over
right.
some of the others who I don't want somebody who cuts hair taking care of me in a hospital.
That's my dentist. My dentist does phenomenal work. By the way, I just had a checkup. Perfect mouth. But he has really awful bedside manner.
Wait, what are the Able sisters? Wolves? Who am I getting
They're
people
sheep, aren't
mixed up? Apparently, I'm getting people. Malik Halo says, "Did RMC just say the Able sisters are sheep?" Well,
Oh no, I guess they're not. They're wolves.
who are the sheep?
Just villagers.
Oh, aren't there two sheep ladies or porcupines? Or what? I haven't played Animal Crossing in a long time, guys.
There's wolf villagers and sheep villagers.
Look, I don't know any of
Is
these
there a
people. I'm
police
really
villager?
confused right now.
There was a police guy. Yeah,
Because I feel like, are there ever any crimes or murders? Because I feel like
there's mysterious stuff that
What
happens.
murder?
There's definitely mysterious stuff. There's like noises.
Eunice, that's who.
There's noises at
Oh.
night. What animal?
Sheep.
Noises at night and ghosts that go around. Yeah, there's weird stuff that happens.
Oh, man.
Cumulative. I'm getting all my characters. My characters are becoming an amalgamation of everything in the game. So
We all know that I don't think he'd be a good caregiver, but I stan Roald.
oh,
He's
he'd
my
be.
guy.
Yeah, I just want him around.
We're
If I'm
bros.
dying, I want him there. I want to tell him all my
But
secrets.
he's kind of grumpy, though, right? Didn't you
not
say
at
that?
all,
No, he's like a real like
bro. Jim, bro.
Yeah, muscle bound.
Oh, okay.
But it's
Yeah.
like really friendly.
Oh, that's
he's
nice.
really
yeah,
nice.
and like he's kind of like a himbo.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, he's pretty great.
He's awesome. Yeah.
And this is all random, right? Like you start a game and the villagers come randomly, but
they
they're
come and go
They're
randomly.
pre-existing villagers.
They're
not
each
random.
each islander villager has a personality, but there's 100 and something of them.
But it's not like randomly generated. Like
The
they
items
made them all,
and how they decorate and where they put their house and what they do throughout the day are all random.
and who shows up in your village and
Yes.
who you get to stay.
And
stuff.
how you act with them will change how they act. They might end up leaving because they don't like you, or liking you and giving you gifts all the time, or you'll do something one day and they'll never forget it, and you're like, I made one mistake, can't you just leave me alone?
Yeah, it's stressful.
Really?
And you'll hear like somebody will be like your favorite guy in town. It's like, I'm thinking about going somewhere else, and you like do everything you can to get them to stay. Like you dig holes all around their house to try and make sure they can't leave, or like give them gifts all the time to make them stay. But one day you wake up and they might be gone. So
Oh man.
can happen. And then you get another villager who sucks, like the clown sheep, and you're like, oh, what the hell? I don't want this freak here. Well, yeah, it's plenty. You know what? I think the vast majority of characters in Animal Crossing would do a good job of taking care of you, but
Yeah.
some will be better than others. Oh, there you go, Blood Ocean. That one, Anka or whatever her name is, she got very popular on the internet for something we won't talk about. All right,
Oh, right.
that's that.
My goodness.
And now we have music. Do we have any of the trivia or no? MomBrain?
Music.
Do.
All right. Well, send your music to GoNintPod@gmail.com. GoNintPod@gmail.com.
Okay.
We only do the music section if we have songs, and no songs have to come from you guys. Put music in the title. It helps out MomBrain. But first, bad game titles. And I am remembering this time that I am taking input from the chat. I'm not going to look at you right away, but if we're stumped, I will turn to the chat.
Okay. Sorry, I'm way deep in the inbox.
Make it show.
Okay. This one comes from.
What are you doing? I thought we were doing trivia.
Well, yeah, but I like to say who it comes from.
Oh, you said this one.
And oh no, I forget their podcast name.
Just say their email name, but not their full name.
I'll credit them at the end. Here we go. Number 1. Otaku gets Gundam suit to fight
No more heroes.
aliens. No more heroes. 3.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Child walks around factory and gets a fleshy blob friend.
Inside.
Yes.
Ooh.
Number 3. Cursed grandma steals the bedrooms of her dead children and grandchildren.
Edith Finch. What's eating Edith Finch?
Yes.
Wow.
What's
What remains of
what
Edith?
remains of Edith Finch?
What's eating Edith Grape?
Number 4. Like the movie Monsters, Inc., but with a nuclear bomb.
Well, I haven't seen Monsters, Inc., so this is tough for me. Fallout.
No.
It's got a nuclear bomb. That's all, I guess.
These are from Turbo K, by the way.
Thank you, Turbo K.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, Monsters Inc. it's just about monsters that their job, like they work at a factory, but the factory is just doors, and they go into a door and they're in like a little kid's closet. And
All
they're supposed to
right.
scare them.
So there's lots of doors in this game. Mario 2.
But there also needs to be a nuclear bomb.
Oh
Yeah.
Oh,
Doors and a bomb.
Metal Gear Solid 2.
monsters. No.
There's
Phantom
doors.
Sons of Liberty.
I'm going to turn to the chat, as I said I would. Maniac Mansion.
No.
Bomberman.
No.
That's the only guess we have.
You played it and liked it a lot.
I like a lot of stuff. Nuclear bomb and lots of doors. What is
No
this?
one is saying there's doors.
You said it's like Monsters Inc. I've been told there's doors. So it's about sleeping and nightmares? Nightmares and a
I
nuclear
don't
bomb.
know. I haven't played the game.
Scaring kids.
We don't know. Go ahead.
I don't know.
Meg's Monster.
Oh, I should have said. Yeah, I should
It's
have
the,
known that.
it's the Monsters Inc. thing that threw me completely off.
I should have known that.
And the last one from Turbo K. Girl walks around in the stages of grief.
Super
Grease?
Princess Peach.
Do is correct.
Grease.
Oh, my answer's really good too.
True.
Yeah, but it's the wrong
Wrong.
one.
Wrong.
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 The last one was Grease, in case you didn't hear it.
Grease.
Gris. Wrong. All right, let's do music. Goodbye,
Music.
chat.
music. You want to hear it? You want to hear it? Oh.
So I talked to Nikki Hill, and obviously you heard last week that I said I didn't tell him you guys missed him because he wouldn't believe me. He listened to that podcast as expected and called me to talk to me. And I don't remember what he said to you guys, and he's going to be so mad because I'm going to paraphrase, but it was something like "get a life" or something like that. Saying it, he was joking. But
Obviously, yeah.
I thought he was
Something
going to
along
say,
those
"I still
lines.
don't believe you."
like "let it go, get a life," something like that. So there you go. I don't know.
Get over it.
You
when
are our life, Nikki Hill.
When are you gonna get Nikki Hill back? I don't know, because we don't have him either. So when we get him, you'll get him. So that's all I got for you.
Yikes.
Oh,
Okay.
that's true. We don't know when we're hanging out with him.
Yeah, but like when we get them,
Get him.
we're gonna kidnap them.
What do you want to do? Find the guy and get him?
This song comes from Stefan.
Is this a Castlevania?
It is.
Is this Portrait of Ruin?
It is.
Oh man.
I remember because I remember thinking that song was a little out of place,
Yes.
but it was in like a pyramid in that game. So
Makes more sense.
It wasn't.
but still.
And you fought a giant mummy or something.
Yeah, because I would have said Shantae or something.
Here's one from Guy Bones.
all right. Well, so we know the series.
Yeah.
We'll guess Street Fighter, but all right. So it's got to be Street Fighter on a Game Boy Color. Is that correct or no?
It's Street Fighter.
Yeah. What system? Game Boy or Game Boy Color?
I
That changes
don't
my answer.
know.
So Street Fighter 2.
hold on. Yeah, it is.
On the Game Boy.
It's a pretty decent version.
Not bad. Capcom used to do really good ports of their console games to Game Boy.
This little jazzy one comes from Nico Drunia.
This is very familiar. Is this a SteamWorld game?
It is.
Quest. Dig
No.
2.
No.
Dig.
No.
Heist.
Yes.
There we go.
It's
Great
called
games.
Very
SteamWorld
cool.
Heist.
You know, we're going to have another SteamWorld game that is in a genre that I don't like, but that's the reason I didn't play SteamWorld Dig. And I convinced myself to play it, and I loved it. So I'm going to have to do it again with this one. This
Wait,
is
you don't
SteamWorld.
like dig games? Like,
I don't like resource management games.
the dig game?
Yeah, like going down and collecting the lanterns, oil, and the air, and you got to go back up and refuel up top.
Okay,
And
all right.
I don't like that stuff. But
But you
this,
loved it.
I loved that game.
I
yeah.
wonder. Why?
Because it just clicked for me. It was a really good game. Now they're doing SteamWorld Build, which is like another resource town building game, which I would be less interested in, but I'm not going to make the mistake this time. I'll play it.
Good for you.
I hope I enjoy it.
Let us know.
I haven't disliked a SteamWorld game yet, so
Not one.
all of them are great. Dig 2, Heist, Quest.
I've played Dig and Dig 2, and I've loved both.
I would suggest Heist. I really think you would like Heist.
Yeah, you told me about Heist before, and I've just never pulled a trigger.
That's funny because in Heist you pull the trigger a lot. It's turn-based, but it's all shooting and real-time shooting.
Well, my trigger finger's all worked up after Call of Duty, so maybe I'll have to get it.
There you go. There you go.
Alrighty. One moment, please.
What were we doing? We gave you a whole bunch of moments.
Well, I was waiting. While I was waiting, I was
like,
getting another song.
I was like,
ready,
I was like,
Here we are. This one comes from Jess I.
It's either GBA or DS.
DS.
I'm getting real mystery vibes here.
I don't think so.
We're getting real Mega Man vibes here.
Definitely.
All right, so then it's Mega Man ZX.
Yep.
Something.
You got it.
Man, you're good.
This one.
Right company both times, but I had to hone in on the game. I knew it was a Capcom.
I wish this was like a legit game show, and you were like the Beast, so you'd have to be on every episode, because it's fascinating to watch you dissect. Like, it's like a wine connoisseur who can take a sip of wine and they know like what region it came from. It's not like you and the way they dissect it down.
I
You do a
appreciate
very
it.
similar.
They need to bring back that game show.
sommelier.
They need to
Yes.
bring back that game show, Beat the Geeks, where they had idiot savants for all different categories. I could be the video game
With
music
the Throne
savant.
of Games. Or that wasn't
No.
that like a reality show where they lived in a house together?
Beat the Geeks was a different show. You're thinking of King of the Nerds.
I remember enjoying that.
I really enjoyed it too, and there were only 3 seasons. But it was hosted by the guys from Revenge of the Nerds,
Yes.
Booger and what's his name?
Yes.
Oh wow. I forgot about
Oh no, I made a mistake.
It's fine. We'll sit
All
in
right.
silence.
Here comes a song.
This is definitely a song I know from a game I played, but I can't. Oh, is this Zelda?
It is.
A Link Between Worlds?
No.
Spirit Tracks.
Yes.
You're right.
that. Nice.
But let me.
Oh, those days are gone, aren't they?
I love that there's almost like a train whistle as an instrument in the song. Like it's
And the song's
it's
chugging
just
on.
so good. So good.
Not that I know anything about trains.
Got him.
Oh,
MomBrain.
never mind.
MomBrain.
It comes from-
MomBrain. Take a deep breath. Clear your mind. Seems like you're having some
It
issues.
came from Forehand Tump. That is where that song came from. I'm sorry to delay that. All right, this next one comes from Charlie.
Oh, it's got a Nintendo feel right off the bat.
Absolutely.
Can't place a system. I'm gonna go portable.
It is portable.
So DS.
Yes.
It's so good. This is awesome.
It's got a Mario feel to it, but I'm not convinced.
It is not Mario.
All right, so it's not Pokemon.
Nope.
Could it be one of the weird Tomodachi Life or Walking Simulator or
No.
Why can't I place that? That is something, and I can't. That
Is there a Kirby game on the 3DS? Is it 3DS or
It's DS.
DS?
And it's not Kirby.
whatever that instrument is in the back, that's so Nintendo and it's so evocative of something in Nintendo, and I can't place it.
And it's not an Animal Crossing DS.
It is not.
What is that? Why is that resonating with me so much? Well, I guess we got to do it, Sally. It's not Metroid. It's not Zelda.
Nope.
It's not Kirby. It's not Mario. Is it Yoshi?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Yoshi's Island DS.
No.
Yoshi's Story
Nope.
DS. Yoshi Touch and Go.
Yes.
There we go.
It is Yoshi Touch and Go.
That's
There
why.
was something
That's
about-
why it was evocative of Mario. Okay.
Next song
I will eat a
comes from Wired.
Oh, I just played this. I was quoted in the trailer for reviews. And its name, oh, this is terrible. Lunark.
Yes.
Lunark. Oh, I think I made him.
Oh, just take a deep breath.
No, I must have.
All right.
3 more songs.
Have
Lunark,
you-
great game. Play
you
Lunark.
haven't missed one yet?
We haven't. That I know for sure. Play Lunark, you assholes.
Jeez. Or go to hell.
Or go to hell. Buy me Lunark or go to hell.
Shut up, Mom.
Okay.
What's that, Paris Hilton?
This one comes.
I knew that'd get you.
This one comes from Storbus Corbin.
I know this song. This is Earthbound.
Earthbound.
The man is right. Beginnings.
Oh, Beginnings. That's how I know that. Because I've started that game up and heard this song and enjoyed it.
And you were like, this
And
is a
then
good game.
turned
and
it
you
off.
Yeah. Not with these graphics.
Not with these graphics. Put it on my tombstone.
I'm going to write it 8-bit on your tombstone.
In Comic Sans. Write it in Comic
It'll
Sans.
be like N64, so like real blurry style. or something like
That'd be
What's this say?
amazing.
People have to stand back like 50 feet to read it.
Is this one of those magic eye tombstones?
There's so much fog.
It's so much fog.
You
It's
need
great.
like an expansion pack.
Yes,
to put into
yes,
the
you got to
top
go
of
put it
everything.
into the top of the tombstone. That's great.
This jam comes from Autumnal Blake.
I know this. Oh, this is Xenoblade Chronicles 3. The boss fight. I'm remembering all the things the characters yell, but wrong. Because half the time I don't know what they're saying.
That bass line is tight.
Great music in this game.
Yeah, this is awesome.
It's cool for a boss fight, and it's not like a. It's like a sub boss fight. You hear pretty often. Good stuff.
Yeah, this guy has some juices flowing.
That composer, he knocks it out of the park every time. They're like, "Hey, new Xenoblade game. Do you have 150 amazing songs again?" And he's like, "Yes, I do. What genre do you want them in?"
I mean, he's got to just be working on a ton of songs and then use.
Well,
them
he's
later,
said like
right?
he's done whole
It's
soundtracks
crazy.
worth of stuff that he hasn't used because they'll be like, it's not the right time, or they're looking for a different vibe. So he's got plenty of stuff he can go back to. But look at like now Yuzo Koshiro hasn't done the same amount of work, but Yuzo Koshiro still does game soundtracks all the time, and he still makes bangers. So he's another one. He's really good.
Some people are just born with it home.
Yuzo Koshiro and the man's, I can't remember the guy's name from Monolith Soft, but one of the best composers there is in gaming.
And the last song for today comes to us.
This
from
could be for a perfect game.
Steister, who predicts you will not
Oh no.
get it.
That's not what we want.
Maybe. Oh, this is Mega Man.
Nope.
Okay, I know this.
Wrong.
I know this for sure. Is this an older system? Is this a Sonic?
It's not. It's sweet.
Is this a racing game?
Yes.
Is it Excite Truck? Is it Excite the Bug one?
It's
Excite Bots.
Excite Bots. It's Excite Bots.
I got it, baby.
Unbelievable.
Perfect! Perfect! Oh my God, we got a perfect. Did I miscount the amount of songs? Probably, but we got all of them right.
Doesn't
So that's
matter.
a 10
6
out of
out
10.
of
And some of those were pretty. I mean, you pulled a couple of those out, man.
He didn't think I'd get Excite Bots. Well, I did. And you know what? I like that better than Excite Truck. You're a robot grasshopper? Give me that any day over a truck. Who the hell wants to drive a truck? You transform
I
in
could
the
do that
air into
crap in real
a right? Give me a grasshopper car.
Cumulative. You got to go in the Discord. I mean, it's beautiful.
Cumulative says,
A perfect 6 out of 9.
Yeah.
look at that. Oh, wow. Look at all those
Yeah.
stars. Holy crap.
Did it.
What's the toughest one in there? See, and it was. I'm not knocking us, but like, you know, it's all mainstream stuff. I guess Steam World is harder to get. Lunark was definitely the most difficult in there. I'll take it though. I'll take it. 10 out of 10, perfect 6 out of 9, as we say here. If only we
Beautiful.
had something special to end the show with.
We do.
Oh, wow.
There's been
All aboard the rumor train.
There's been a lot of talk coming across my desk. Ladies and gentlemen, the birds, my little birds are back, and they got some messages for us. Deux Views, it's never news. Rumor of the week, starring Deux Michaels. Ladies and gentlemen, I like to give you all the rumors as I get them, when I get them, if I can. So here's a rumor that actually this one's true, it says here. So this rumor is actually true.
We're honored.
Which is, don't get used to it, people. But here we go. So we heard about the Pokemon Pro cheaters that have been ousted from that competition, right? We've heard about them.
Pokemon 2023 World Championships, literally
Yes.
the biggest event of the year.
Well, now the event's even getting bigger because their punishment from Pokemon Company was to, it says here, being sent to a secret island where they'll all be role-playing as the Pokemon that they stole through whatever means it was. I didn't really hear the beginning of that story you told earlier. But so they're going to be on this island, right? And then the people who weren't kicked out of the competition, they're getting sent with real Pokeballs to catch these people. And they got to catch them all. So it's kind of like Lord of the Flies meets
Hunger Games.
meets
So they're only
Pokemon.
role playing, so they don't actually have the powers of these Pokemon.
It says here that they actually do have the power of the Pokemon.
Well, then that's great. So
It
they're
is-
not getting punished; they're getting
There's a lot of genetic mutation therapy that's going to be going on before they dropped off
Sounds
on this.
messy.
So
yeah, I don't
man,
think
they
I don't
cheat.
think they want to be.
They cheat and they get all these benefits. They're going to be like super powered and
You
have
want to live in a Pokeball?
super moves. They have to be caught first. It's like you guys haven't played Pokemon.
Well, they don't,
you don't
know
just get
how
caught.
to not get
You
caught
gotta fight the
because they've never
Pokemon.
played the game. They
They-
just bought their way to the top.
They didn't just buy their way to the top. They won all the previous tournaments. They know Pokemon through and
How
through.
do you know they didn't buy their way through all the other tournaments?
You can buy your way through the tournament, but you still know how to use the Pokemon because you're in the tournament playing. These
Oh,
people are going to destroy the.
I'm getting
the other
another. I'm
people.
getting another message. Turns out all the experiments went wrong and they all died. I'm
no, they all
afraid.
turned into Mr.
So-
Mime. Now they can only have sex with Ash's mom, and that's it. Well, thanks for that. Oh, there you go. It's in the chat
I've
right
seen
now. There they are. The first experiment.
No.
That's
All
great.
right, it works.
Can't even laugh hard enough. Well, that's that. Started out as a rough show because I'm whatever, but I think we got to a good one. I think we got to a great one. Maybe the best ever. You know why the show started off rough? Because it was stupid Pikmin Bloom Community Day, and it's a hot one.
Oh,
And it sucked walking today. But here we
no,
are. We did
thank
it.
you.
We'll have an after show for you. What are we going to talk about? I don't know. Cookies. I feel like talking about cookies. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
I feel like since it was Community Day, I should get a cookie.
Is Community Day tomorrow as well? Is it? They still do the double?
12th and the 13th. Yep, they're doing a double. Seems like that's working out for them. You don't want cookies? Big old cookie.
I'm so tired.
Cookie.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
You eat a cookie, it gives you energy.
Oh, that was in response to eat a cookie.
Yeah.
Oh, don't do this to me again.
What's it doing to you?
They're open. Well, usually they're open until 7. The cookie place. Okay, they removed their menu before they should. Now it's a video.
What we got today?
I'd love to tell you. I really would. Okay, black and white cookie. So come on. Chocolate dipped butter cookies with raspberry jam.
Ooh.
Chocolate dipped shortbread. We had, man, that was so good.
Sounds good.
Classic Linzer cookie. We had them. Very good. Apricot almond thumbprint. Too fancy for my blood.
Good.
Chocolate cherry shortbread.
Delicious.
Cranberry orange shortbread.
Phenomenal.
Pecan sandies. Haven't had one yet.
Not a big fan.
Giant stuffed cookie with Reese's peanut butter cups or Oreos. Kitchen sink cookie. Please tell me again what it is.
It's just got like everything: pretzels and chocolate chips and coconut.
Magic bar cookie.
Coconut, butterscotch.
Oh,
Man, these all sound great.
Giant chocolate chip cookie with M&Ms. Chocolate chunk. Chocolate with white chocolate chips. Oatmeal raisin. Confetti cookie. Strawberries and cream cookie.
You had one of those.
A strawberries and cream?
Yeah, it had the white chips. You had it when family was over.
I don't remember.
You were like, "You want to split it with me?" And then Tim. Was
Oh,
like,
yes, it was
and
good.
I was like, "Oh, okay."
Salted peanut butter cookie. They were great. Gluten-free chocolate chip cookie. Flourless cocoa cookies. And gluten-free super fudge brownie. There you go.
Man. Yes, please.
Right? I think we should go. What do you guys got anything you want to talk about? I said I want to talk cookies. I'm done now. Anything to close the show out with? Anything you're watching? Anything you're reading? Anything you experience? We got Deux free pizza on Pizza Hut's free pizza day.
That was amazing.
Nice.
That was the best damn stuffed crust I've had in my life, and it's probably because I don't eat pizza nearly as much as I used to, but it was unbelievable.
It was really great. It was really great. There's something about that stuffed crust. Like even if you're eating the regular part of the pizza and you're like, oh, it's whatever, it's just good, it's fine. But you eat that crust, and you're always eating it. I always eat it last. So like
yes.
you eat it last, and then it's like, well, I'm not even hungry, but I want another slice because that it's like so salty. And so
It really
good.
is so salty.
God, it's so
I
good.
touched it to my tongue when we were eating it. I was like, holy
It's
crap.
so good. There's no reason I should like that crap.
My
but it's so
diet
good.
that day, I planned out my diet for that day because I knew it was going to be horrendous. So I didn't eat anything. My whole diet that day, everything I ate was 4 slices of stuffed crust and the peanut butter crunch McFlurry. That was it. I was like, I am living like a king today.
Man.
And he, for the first time in I can't tell you how long, was like, "I'm stuffed."
After I
Nice.
ate the pizza on top of the ice cream, I was like, I'm legit stuffed.
Good
like,
for you.
I'm full. So all it takes is eating like I used to, and I feel full, which is funny because that's how it was when I used to eat that way. But those days are gone. Also, I ate that McFlurry, and afterwards I was in the car, and I was like, I don't know if I feel good. I was like, I think I feel bad.
Got back in the car, and he was like, "That flurry
Oh, no.
weird with you?" And I was like,
And you had to drop something else off.
I was fine. I didn't poop myself or anything. Just, I don't know. For a little bit, I was like, because it was a lot of dairy and I had just finished my walk and I hadn't
You
eaten
hadn't eaten a
anything
thing.
that day. So,
Oh,
yeah, probably
that'll
not the
do it.
best on an empty stomach. And then, of course, I shoveled on pizza on top.
"Yeah." And then he comes home and he's eating the pizza, and I'm like,
Well,
"You feeling better?"
I felt totally fine because McFlurry don't usually get brand new McFlurry. Never had it before. So that's weird. Pizza on my body's like, yep, this is normal. I know what this is. So it was like, everything's okay. He doesn't have to poop or throw up. He's going to be fine, people. But yeah, that pizza was so good. And it came in those awesome
The box was
Ninja Turtles
great.
boxes.
Oh, nice.
Which I had to hide in his office because he wanted to keep it, and his parents came on Thursday and brought pizza. and we didn't have any, and so there was a lot left over, and so we were like, make sure you take it home. And I was like, he's gonna take home the empty Pizza Hut box, guaranteed. So I hid it in your office because
Now I gotta figure out what to do. Oh, it's gonna go in here. Guys, just going in the chat to see if you got anything going on. I don't want to ignore you. See if you got anything to share. Oh, Cumulative is showing off brown sugar white chip cookies that he's eating. Level 89 in Pikmin Bloom says Ice Dilbert got my badge today. Me too, the hibiscus badge. Cumulative says jam on cookies, inconceivable. And are Sandies actually sandy? Why are they called pecan sandies?
because of the texture and the color.
Don't most cookies look like sand then?
But the texture, it's got more.
Yeah, they
speckles.
kind of
guess.
like break
I'll give it
up
to
like
you.
that.
You know what I don't like? When things are named after things and you're like, it's not really what it looks like. Do I have example? Are there examples? Tons. Can I have any, or can I offer you any right now? No. Stupid stuff.
Whoopie pie.
No, God,
Doesn't
what?
look like whoopie.
There was one I just heard and it made me so mad because I'm like, it doesn't really look like that. Like, why do we call it that?
A hot dog.
Well, no, because that doesn't look like it at all. The things I'm talking about, like, you're like, I get why they're calling it that, but it doesn't really look like that. Can't think of it. I'm sorry, everybody. Cumulus says, got to have dip for the crusts.
No, I'm a purist.
What would you do?
Although,
Marinara ranch?
When we were dining in, if there was a leftover marinara from the breadsticks,
Yeah.
and we were like trying to house.
I just want to go to Pizza Hut
trying
and
to
eat
help it go down.
breadsticks. I love their pizza, but I could do just a family order of
Their
breadsticks.
breadsticks are great.
Why do they make the whole pizza out of the breadsticks?
Remember when our Pizza Hut lady used to send us home?
Oh my God. Whoops, another accidental
Ridiculous,
family order for you guys. Yeah.
Oh no, somebody had a family order of breadsticks and a large stuffed crust, and they didn't pick it up. Take it
Who's
home.
gonna eat all these breadsticks?
I'm
She
not
was the
going to do this
best.
to you guys. I'm going to take a look real quick to see if I can find an example. Things named after things that don't really look like those things. Google's going to get me something, right?
Yeah.
You were
12
specific.
things that have the wrong damn name.
Oh,
There you go.
I just thought of one. I mean, I know the reason why it's named this, but chock full of nuts coffee. No
Mhm.
nuts, because it's named after a nut shop that also sold coffee.
That's that works.
So it's very misleading.
Here's a good one. Jellyfish.
They're like jelly.
It doesn't look like a fish though.
But it looks
Jelly
like-
blob.
Oh, it's the fish part that makes you mad.
Jelly puss.
There, now we're talking.
You know.
No. The BuzzFeed's list isn't great. 40 everyday items you didn't know had an
Jellyfish
official.
was the only one.
Jellyfish. I went through all the rest. They don't work. Come on, chat. You got to have something. Driveways and parkways. Yes, because you park on driveways and you drive on parkways.
I'm sure I'll think of something like 3 hours from now and text you about it.
Yeah,
honestly.
this is Super Sanchez says pan pizza from Pizza Hut is very unique. That's true. It is. It is very unique. I like the pan pizza, but I'll eat it 10 times out of 10. I'll eat it, but I prefer the stuffed crust. Now, here's what I said to MomBrain. Have you ever had a thin and crispy from Pizza Hut?
Yeah,
Oh, because I
Definitely.
haven't. I'm like, we got to get one.
definitely.
I would imagine it'll be very close to Domino's.
Yeah,
cracker
it's
pizza,
like
but-
that. It's not, it's not worth it when you got stuffed crust on the menu.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
if stuffed crust was in every pizzeria, I would order that for everything.
Well,
I
Papa
just
John's
would.
has it.
Papa John's is not pizza, man. I'm sorry. It's just
You said
it's
if every pizzeria. Well, okay, every pizzeria. Okay,
Yeah,
Papa John's
like
isn't a pizzeria.
like a regular pizzeria. If they had it, it would be amazing.
Why
Like,
don't regular
it's
pizzerias
probably
have
way
stuffed
too.
crust?
It's probably way too expensive or
That's
something.
really a pain to make.
And it's probably a pain in their a.
All right, I don't know the first thing about making pizza, so I'm sure I'm wrong. But let me have a very strong opinion on this. You're throwing cheese on the damn pizza already. You can't tuck
But,
a little
like-
bit at the top of the crust
But
and
to
roll it over.
it and then like have it not blow out, have the right amount of cheese. Like
Yeah,
it's probably
here,
a pain.
Let me show you. Cheese. Roll it over
All
a
right.
little bit.
Well,
Okay,
you
in the
think
oven,
you're
done.
so
That
you
won't
think you're
work?
so good at it? Go for
You're
it.
a baker. Would that not work?
I've made stuffed crust.
I rest my case.
And there's
If it
always
were
a blowout.
if it were that simple, you'd be seeing it. That's why there's something else to it, and it'd probably be way too expensive or something. I don't know what it would be.
Well, yeah, because think about like cheese isn't cheap.
Is it that expensive when Little Caesars also does it? Because their pizza's like $7 or something.
Their
Yeah,
pizza.
but their pizza's also really bad.
Yeah,
They're
you keep
pizza
bringing
pizza.
up these like chain pizza places, which
Well, we're
you know,
talking stuffed crust.
I'll eat their pizzas, but like I don't consider that like I don't necessarily
It's like
consider
fast
that
food. not
Yeah.
Oh,
pizza.
we all agree. I don't consider that.
So
pizza
like
either.
I'm talking about like I wish it were everywhere because the only time we get stuff, maybe this is what makes it so nice, is we don't get it all the time. So if we ever do go to pizza, we get the stuffed crust and it's kind of nice
Yeah.
because we don't always have it. But
Why don't pizzerias have stuffed crust?
pizzerias.
Let's see if there's an answer. To that.
So
He's real.
Why is it only Pizza Hut that is stuffed crust? No. Why don't more pizza places make stuffed crust pizzas?
I bet you Reggie
potentially.
trademarked it when he was there or something.
Mhm.
But other fake pizza places have it. No. I'm not signing in, Cora, to read this stupid question. This could be a whole documentary. Cursory glance, of course, but no information. Big Pizza's out there shutting these people down.
I wouldn't be surprised.
We're looking into this. We'll have a full report next week, everybody.
Stu will have his
Yeah.
his little birds.
Yes.
Yeah.
My birds go to the restaurant side of things.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hang out with friends and family. Rest, relax. Play some games. You deserve it. Eat cookies. Eat pizza. Take nap.
Dandori is life.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.
The art of